in progress between him and Omar Khan. Okay, so just get ready for that news to
What?
break in a couple of weeks.
Wait a minute. Nah, I ain't worried about that shit. It ain't go.
Now I ain't worried about it. It's all
I ain't
right.
worried about that shit.
It's all right.
He won't be there,
Well,
man.
they can. They coach. What's up?
What's up?
Pete?
What's up, Petey?
What's up? I think they can. Pittsburgh can negotiate with him
Of
because
course he can.
yeah, that they can earlier before other teams can.
Yeah,
So,
June a hater.
Coach always fucking
Coach,
with
you're gonna
me.
melt down if Fields leaves, though.
Oh, yeah, for
But I
sure,
wonder.
for sure.
But
And,
I
Course
but
wonder.
he
But
that's
is.
I want.
but
Wonder
Petey,
what they
honestly, that's
do if.
only because where we're picking in the draft, we probably won't be able to get somebody worth the damn that's gonna
Yeah,
come in
but
and
there's
change some
always a
shit.
free agent.
That would be the only
You
reason
know.
why I would melt down. Because
So
if you
so
look at
so
the
let me
free
ask you a
agency
question, Coach.
landscape, it really ain't nobody worth the damn for us to pick up either.
I'm
Outside of
saying
maybe Sam Darnold, but I doubt we do that.
you could go with Kirk Cousins, Coach. You can go with Kirk Cousins.
Is
Good
June
morning,
talking?
Petey. Good morning, fellas.
Here comes Pete with Aaron Rodgers take.
Yeah,
I
let me come
guess.
back. Let me come
Of
back.
course, Petey, you
All
know
right.
because you guys frustrated me that day on your stream talking about all these quarterbacks that are going to be coming to the Jets and all this quarterback talk. Petey, I got frustrated and I apologize for disrupting that space that day.
Yes, you
But I
did.
told you
Yeah,
guys.
you never got personal though, which was good.
Awesome. But I told you guys like I'm tired of it. Jet fans need to understand this is the plan with Aaron Rodgers. And I told you on that stream, I would not be shocked if it's a 2-year gig. Now the biggest concern, you know me, I'm a Dolphin fan, Petey. But my biggest concern is you guys have a situation in hand that, the word on the street, there's rumors circling around Garrett Wilson possibly for a Miles Garrett trade. How do you feel about that?
Ah, that ain't happening.
Garrett
June
Wilson
June would
for
love nothing
Miles
more than that.
Garrett?
Garrett, I've never even
Woo!
heard that
June would love
trade.
that. Listen at him.
Garrett Wilson from
Woo!
Miles
The
Garrett.
rumors are going to start speculating. I
Nah,
wouldn't
Look
be
at look
shocked
at
you guys
I
start
June.
ain't
hearing
heard
it
that
next week.
one. I
Petey.
ain't heard that one.
Yeah,
Petey, you hear him?
Birdman hands rubbed together right now.
Petey. Listen at your mans.
Who, June or repeat?
June.
Ooh,
I always
brother.
listen to June.
No, I ain't no, not in that way. Listen at him talk crazy. Talking
He's
about,
always
bro,
he's
yeah,
been
bro,
talking crazy.
that would be idiotic for y'all to trade my Garrett Wilson for Miles Garrett.
Yeah,
Relax.
nah, they ain't doing that and
nah,
taking on all that money. The Jets can't do it this year.
June, relax.
Jets wouldn't be able to do it this year. Yes.
wait. Pete, you see the Jets aren't taking all that money, but yet and still the Jets gotta pay Garrett all that money.
No,
So
June.
I'm
There you go,
curious.
June.
No,
I'm
June.
There
I'm
you
curious.
go,
saying that
June.
because the Jets would have to pony up money, guaranteed money this year for Miles. They're not doing it. I'm not even entertaining Miles Garrett coming here. It's mind-boggling that even fans wanting Cooper Cup here. I'm not even
Nah, hell
commenting.
no. No,
Listen, we
nah.
do hypotheticals all the time, but I'm not wasting my time with Miles Garrett and Cooper Cup. Sorry.
Thank you, Petey. Thank you, Petey.
With that, you're absolutely right. I wouldn't sit there and waste my time with it. But
I don't think it's a waste of time at all, though, June. You got a disgruntled wide receiver in New
yes,
York.
he's very
You got a
disgruntled.
disgruntled wide receiver in New York that's clearly, you see Aaron Rodgers favoriting Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers are the two that are going to rework their deal to create cap space. And that's going to be with getting Garrett Wilson out of the building. Those are going to be the terms. We will do this if they turn around and trade him because we need defensive help. Someone like Miles Garrett with the defense that the Jets already have. Come on, man. That's the only
All right.
trade. There's only
All right,
one trade.
we'll give
now,
you a first
now,
this year and
Pete, look,
and a third next
Let
year.
me ask you,
Pete,
June, and everybody up here, if
hey,
Garrett Wilson was coming out of this draft class, do you guys not think he'll be the conscious number one wide receiver
Yes,
clearly?
without a
yes,
doubt.
Yes.
He's
yes,
the
That's what
biggest
But
trade
but it's in
capital
so
you
his
I'm
guys
giving
court.
have
so
right
But
I'll
we
now.
give
could
you a
defeat.
first
We
and a
could do
third.
that with any other
but
draft guy. Like,
You can't.
you're
You're
going back. He's been in. This is his fourth year in the league. Come
Pete,
on.
but Pete. Now this is my thing. Doesn't Miles Garrett have a no trade clause?
no, he does
Well,
not.
he requested a trade though, June. So
Oh no. I get that, but
I
don't
don't
you
know if
think
he
that?
does. I'll look
Yeah,
it up.
yeah, please do, because I was about to say, and at the same time, don't you think he would? He could kind of, and they would give him that, like they would kind of control. Like I'm pretty sure he would not want to come to the Jets. The team don't even have a quarterback yet. He's been losing. He don't want to do that. He want to go to he wants to go to a contender. I'm sure of that.
June, June, I
I
give you
mean,
a
weren't
first
you
this
guys
year and a
just
third
looked
next year.
as a contender until the Achilles broke?
Hmm?
The Jets were just a Super Bowl contender right before Aaron Rodgers'
Li-
Achilles broke.
Listen, the Jets were
No, they
never
wasn't.
a Super
So
Bowl
now,
contender.
No, they wasn't.
a
They was
whole
never.
year, a
They were
whole two
never.
years after his
Technically,
Achilles,
June. Listen, we could. All right,
We were
June.
never a
We
Super Bowl
had.
contender.
There were analysts that picked the Jets to go to the Super Bowl,
Listen,
win the division. They were contenders.
listen. No, 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 no,
I
no,
didn't pick
no.
them to win the
Pete, Pete,
division.
Pete.
100%,
It was
Petey.
the
No,
media.
no, 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 Pete. You could be a
Which Pete?
contender
Which
on
Pete? Me?
both Pete's. Listen to me. You could be a contender on paper, but until that team plays, you're not a Super Bowl
Well, June,
contender.
obvious. Yeah, I'm not saying this to talk. I'm not talking down to you, but obviously, yes, you're right about that. But
Right,
the Jets were legitimate contenders on paper. You can't debate that.
right. But that's on paper.
Correct.
Teams look. As a matter of fact, Chargers looked great on paper, didn't they? And what happened with them when they played? They was one of the worst teams in the
Let's
league
be
as well.
honest. The
Yeah,
Jets
that
looked
was
like
last
Super Bowl
year. The year
Right.
contenders.
before that.
Oh no.
The
And that's what he's talking about. The same year that we were supposed to be supposedly
Yeah,
Super Bowl
but
contenders.
June, we had people on here that said the Jets had the best, you know,
That,
roster
the
in the
Jets went
NFL.
into Super Bowl contentions once they got Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is still in the building. He's there to win Super Bowls. It's still the same plan.
how
His
many Super Bowls has
he
this man won?
regressed. He regressed because his injury. But think about his
Well,
Pete,
injury being
Pete,
1 year
Pete.
late now.
He's won one Super Bowl in 20 plus years. Does that man really make you a Super Bowl contender?
It doesn't
No.
matter what he won. He brought that championship caliber pedigree into New York the day he arrived, and he's still here.
You give that man too
June,
much credit, bro. You give him too much credit. One Super Bowl in 20 plus years doesn't make him like he's like he could change a franchise. That's one Super Bowl in 20 years.
His
Is he
first season with Salah, he
is
got
he
injured. His
okay?
second year, they
And he did
fired
shit.
Salah
He did
in
average.
season. You guys played last year with no coach. What week was
Salah
that y'all
doesn't.
fired Salah?
Salah wasn't even supposed to start the season as the head coach, so that
That's
don't mean
another
shit.
angle, Petey. You guys just got Quint, the defense guy. He's gonna go after Miles
yeah,
Garrett.
nah, he's
No,
not,
he's
man.
not.
He's
All
gonna
right, there,
go after
Pete.
Miles Garrett.
Pete's take is
Pete's take,
it's
Pete's takes for Pete's sake. Please stop.
mm,
10-4.
Hey, coach.
Pete. Stop trying to rile us up, Pete.
Yeah,
June,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying to I'm trying to make a trade with you. And you ain't listening.
Bro, I'm not going. You know why I'm not going to take any of your first Pittsburgh? I'm gonna tell you why. Cause you're never that bad where I can actually get something worth anything.
Why can't you get something worth a damn at 21? What are you talking about, June?
What you
But
mean?
what's the trade proposal, Coach? Here,
He
come
said a
on.
first and a third.
First this year and a third next year
Oh,
for Garrett Wilson.
no,
No, I
no
want next
way.
year first.
No,
You
That
crazy as
sounds like
hell.
that sounds
You
like
are
like the
crazy as
ideal trade
hell.
right there, coach.
Why am I trading you two first for a nigga that ain't made
No,
all
no, no,
pro
no,
yet?
no, 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 no,
What are you
no,
talking
no,
about?
he
no, no,
was
no,
Yeah,
also
that
rookie
that's
of the
You're
that's
year.
no,
actually
crazy.
a
no, no,
really
no,
good
no, no.
You done
compensation,
lost your damn
coach.
lost.
That
Coach,
is really good
coach,
compensation
coach,
for him
coach.
because when you trade for him, it's going to come with a big contract. It's not like you're going to get to use him on a
No, no,
rookie
no.
deal. So
You're not listening to what I'm
that's
saying.
really
But you
good
still have
You're
compensation.
not
2 years
listening to what I'm
of his
saying.
rookie deal.
I
Still,
said
we
next
can't.
year's first and next year's third.
Nah,
I didn't.
June,
So
Yeah,
June,
you don't
no
want this
question.
year's
June.
first?
No,
I am not. All
June,
right,
you are
hold
no,
on,
nutty.
no.
June,
Why?
June. I
Why
am
would I
not
take this
Then you
year's
trading.
first?
telling me he's nutty.
June, I am not trading a player this year
You're
and
not
not
trading
getting
nobody, Pete.
anything. No, no, no. I will,
Bruh,
but
y'all
I'm
need
not.
something
I
this
don't
year,
want
June. What are you
future
talking
picks.
about?
Bro. Listen to what I'm
You
saying.
guys are crazy, man.
I
He
don't.
he's
I
nuts.
don't know what the team record will be, so I'm gonna try to get next year's compensation. So just in case we're not bad enough,
You are
I
still
could
getting
trade
next
them
year's
and move up.
compensation.
No, I want next year's first and next year's third.
You
I don't care about
crazy as
this
hell,
year's
bro.
draft.
And okay, and if you trade now, let's look at this. Let's look at this, June. If you trade us Garrett Wilson for next year's first and next year's third, do you think we're gonna be picking at 21, or do you think we're gonna be picking at like 25 or up?
That's cool. Whether it's
And
21.
all right, see, look,
Who's playing
Listen, folks.
quarterback, coach? Justin
What?
Fields.
yep.
Ah.
It'll be Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins gonna end up in Pittsburgh.
Nah,
Watch.
I ain't gonna end up in New York.
Yeah, I don't know why,
Nah, y'all
but
running it. Nah,
June,
it's
I don't.
real.
Pittsburgh
Y'all
Wait,
got
running
wait,
it
wait.
back
named
with
I
Sam
Daniel
don't
Donald.
know. I
Jones.
don't know why Pittsburgh, after moving on from Russell Wilson, would bring in Kirk Cousins. I don't know
Right.
what. I
What is
mean,
June talking about? Y'all running it back
but I
with
don't know.
Sam Donald.
I don't know what they're
Since we
gonna do
talking,
though. I don't know if Fields may get a better offer on the market from somebody
He
else,
will.
Coach.
He will.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Coach. You got to start getting ready and understand that Russell Wilson is going to be your quarterback next
That's a
season.
look. Listen, Russ will
Like,
either
just
be in
stick with that.
Pittsburgh
bruh.
That's what it's
Have
or
y'all
he
going to
could
not been
be
be.
reading the
in
reports?
Vegas.
You
Have
don't.
y'all not been reading the
The
reports,
man was
bruh?
just in the Pro Bowl rocking a
Bro, I don't
Steelers
give a fuck
jersey.
what he did,
The
bro.
man was.
Did he make?
He's all
Hold on,
Pittsburgh.
did he make the Pro Bowl initially, or
Did he
because
have a
dudes
free
made the Super
agent
Bowl?
helmet on, or did
Because
he have a
dudes made the
Pittsburgh
Super
Steelers
Bowl, he
jersey
got put in
helmet
there.
on?
Because dudes made the Super Bowl and dudes was injured,
Wait,
he
didn't
made the Pro
Tomlin
Bowl,
say?
right?
Didn't Tomlin
Right?
say they're moving on from him,
No,
from
No, he did
Wilson?
not.
no,
Oh,
no,
did
no,
he
no,
or oh
no,
he
no, no,
didn't?
no, no,
Okay.
no, no, no. Petey, what he said was one of them will be back and one of them will be gone. If Russ doesn't go to
Russell
Vegas,
is
if
gone.
Russ
Hey
don't go to
June,
G
hey
Vegas,
O
he
June,
will be
N
in
June,
E
Pittsburgh.
June.
gone.
He said one will be back and one will be gone. Now I got a question: who was the starter and who was the backup?
You're absolutely right, bro. I
That's
agree
it.
with you on that.
Pittsburgh fan coach. That's who your quarterback is
Wait,
in
wait, 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 wait,
2025.
wait,
And then
Pete.
what?
Now you're gonna.
Pete, and what did that starter do the last 5 games of the season?
No, no. What did
All
your
right,
team
all
do?
right,
I
bet,
just saw
bet.
him play in
He
the Pro
collapsed.
Bowl, rocking a
Why would we
Pittsburgh.
bring somebody back, bruh? Stop it.
Hey, hey, hey,
I'm not
Coach,
Yo,
entertaining this.
yo,
I
Pete.
ain't arguing
Wait,
with
hold
y'all.
on, Coach. Once Pete, one of these days, it'll be me, you, June, Lee, Sean, and you up here, Pete, as the front and center, so you can get everybody riled up. You'll get Lee
Pete,
Sean screaming at you because
Pete.
Bro,
Pete,
Sean, please get a mic.
Pete, you're trying to do the Pete. I'm not getting riled up.
But Petey, am I
We're not.
saying anything outrageous?
No,
Really?
no,
No,
you're not.
the
You're
They
not,
Aaron
just don't
Pete.
That
want
Rodgers
their
that
thing,
was
no.
quarterback back.
outrageous. What
The
the
Hey,
Miles
fuck?
Pete.
Garrett
And then
thing,
that's what
yes,
happened on
Pete.
your other stream. They didn't want
Yes,
Aaron
Pete.
Rodgers back, and it's like,
Well,
come on, let's talk
days,
sense.
they could be 98%. If he comes back, I'm not mad.
He's not
That's
coming
somebody
back, so
else's
it don't
take.
even matter. Look,
Rib, June,
listen.
rib.
No, I hate that shit. Please stop. Yo, he fucking with me right here. Listen, Pete. To your point, Pittsburgh saves money while bringing back Russ, because if they sign him for a $1 million deal, which is cool. Remember, Denver still has to pay him the other $37 million anyway, so it don't matter whatever deal you give him. Denver's gonna pay the rest. So you're saving money by signing him instead of paying 15, 20 mil to
And
Justin
we still
Fields.
won't win a playoff game.
Oh, I know that anyway.
Well then shut up. Stop trying to make decisions for my
Hey,
team.
watch what happens. Watch what happens, by next month you'll know. Next month you'll know.
No,
That's the
next
free
month
agency start.
you gonna see 8 back on your roster.
Stop saying that bullshit, man.
You know what I find funny? I,
What up, Pete?
June doesn't want Aaron Rodgers back.
No.
Coach doesn't want Russell Wilson back. And I just got to be honest. I don't want Tua on the Dolphins.
Well, look, Pete, look. Out of all three of us, you have a brand new contract that you just signed with your dude, so he definitely coming back.
You heard all that.
Exactly.
I do think they can get out of it somehow.
They
There's an
can't.
out.
Whoa,
There's an
Pete,
out
Pete,
into his
Pete,
contract.
Pete,
There
Pete,
is. Hold on.
Pete,
Let me
Pete.
pull this up.
They're going
They
to have to Russell
they have
Wilson
to
him.
keep him
They have to
at
Russell
least
Hold
Wilson
another
on.
him.
year. They got to keep him. No, matter of
Pete,
fact,
no,
wait, no, no,
Pete,
no, no,
no,
no, no,
Pete.
two
Pete is
years.
right, bro. They'd have to do like the Broncos did with
Hold
Russell.
on here. Two
100%,
attorney.
coach.
Hold on.
Two. Matter of fact. His new country don't start till this year, so you
PD,
got
he
to do
has
at
a
least
80
2 years.
80
All right.
plus
So
dead
they can
cap
get,
this
all right,
year.
yes, they can get out of it next year where they would still eat 25 million, but they'd save 31.2. So they can get out of it. That's actually
Well,
not bad.
like I said,
You,
he still got to play this year.
yeah.
He's on the
And,
team.
you know, Joe Douglas isn't the only GM that does void years. He has a void year in 2029 for $11 million.
That was just a bad signing, bro. That was a bad
Terrible.
signing. That was
Because
horrible.
now look at what the GM is talking that you never hear no GM in the league talk about. They're looking for a top flight backup quarterback. Let me ask you guys, what in your opinion is a top flight backup quarterback? Do any of y'all have that answer? Because not the Dolphins community, these guys were so baited in and deeply entrenched with Tua that they
Hmm.
don't know what a top flight backup is. So maybe the Jets do. Maybe I have to go in the Patriots realm
A
or in the
top
Bills realm to
flight
find out what a
backup
top
quarterback.
flight backup. I never heard of that. What is a top flight backup quarterback to you guys?
You don't
Damn.
know until he plays.
Kirk Cousins.
But this is what
Tyrod
they're
Taylor's a
searching
good
for,
backup
Petey.
quarterback.
Yeah,
He's
but
Petey,
not
they're
he
searching for
can't
a
last.
top flight
Jacoby
backup
Brissett.
quarterback.
Jacoby Brissett's a good backup. Who else is a good backup?
We didn't say good.
He
We're
said top
talking
flight.
top flight.
I mean, if you're a backup, I mean, you're a
Top flights.
backup.
Top flight security, Craig. Top flight.
All right, Mike
Exactly. There's a
Epps.
difference between a security guard and a top flight security guard.
Come on, Pete, you're reaching here.
Hey, yo, this shit funny.
Can some can somebody come up here to combat Pete, please?
I'm done. I'm done.
I wish LeSean to get a mic so he can yell at June.
Nah, that's
I'm
my.
done.
He ain't yelling. He already know what he. We agree on a lot of things. We just don't agree when it comes to Buffalo and Jets, but everything else we agree with. Ah, shit. You got Mr. Meat Torres.
Yeah, bring Mark up here so I can yell at him too.
I'm not bringing. If they want to come up, if people want to come up, they can come up.
Yo, yo, coaches want to yell at everybody because he mad that Russ coming back.
I want to
And you
Yeah,
ask.
mad and you
I want
mad
to
and you
coach,
ask
mad Aaron
coach,
Lashawn.
Rodgers coming back.
yo,
I want to
coach,
ask Lashawn if there's a possibility of
Lee
Diggs and
Sean.
Josh Allen marrying again.
No, I'll answer that for him. No,
Yo, look, everybody know the rule. You got to say Buffalo 5 times and then Lee Sean come up.
I'm being honest. I think there's a possibility Stephon Diggs, who's a free agent this year, he probably signs a cheap deal to go to Buffalo. That doesn't like
nah,
why would
he's
he
coming off a bad injury, man. I think he'll be back in Houston.
Who?
Diggs.
Yeah, ain't that his hometown? Just I'm not sure. Got to say it 5 times, P. Say Buffalo, Buffalo. Shit. Buffalo, 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 Buffalo. Come on, Lee Sean. He like the Candy Man.
I think the Bills
Oh
streamers
wait,
would have been
Stefan
live the
Diggs is
whole
a free
time if they
agent.
would have
Hold
made it to
on.
the Super Bowl.
He's a
Stefan
free
Diggs is
agent.
a free agent.
He
So he
is.
had he had a void. That's why Buffalo ate all that money. He had a void year, $16 million.
Yeah, but
Wow.
now Buffalo is now they got cap
Now,
money.
yep, and now Buffalo could sign him for the cheap.
Well, I don't know. That
He's not going back there.
Buffalo's got to get creative. Right now, they're 12 million over the cap. I'm looking at it.
I don't think he's going to sit here and get a big deal from no other team.
Nobody.
His best bet is either like you say, Petey, stay with Houston
That's where he's
and
gonna stay with.
try to recover your career again, or just go back to what you're familiar with in Buffalo on a cheap deal, and hopefully everything works
Well,
out
he's
where
definitely
you
going to
can
get a.
buy yourself
Sorry,
another
Pete.
year.
Pete,
Pete, he's definitely going to get a cheap deal now, coming off a
Pete,
torn
hundred
ACL.
percent.
Pete, that man burnt the building down on his way out. He's not going back to
Man,
Buffalo.
June, I'm not used to you calling somebody Pete. Man, change your name, bro. I'm getting confused here.
Yo,
Yo, Pete, you're riling me up, man.
yo, Justin Fields is gonna have he gonna win comeback player of the year with the Jets.
You see, to
All right,
me,
bro.
I'm gonna be honest. Look,
Anyways,
to me, top flight
PD.
backup. I'll tell you what I think a top flight backup is. A top
Don't tell
flight
me
backup.
Skylar Thompson.
It's well, he's not. He wasn't. Look, it's simple. A top flight backup is someone like Zach Wilson, someone like Justin
Oh
Fields.
God, Zach
Yes,
Wilson,
yes, I
Pete.
would. To me, I want Zach Wilson in Miami. I want Justin Fields
Holy
in
shit!
Miami.
Did you
On that,
just?
yes, 100% to be able to work with these weapons. It's not like he was working with the Jets.
Yeah, kill
Our
the space,
weapons are
PD.
totally different. If he could just
Nah,
get
I'm
rid
not
of
gonna.
that
I'll let
rock,
Pete talk.
these to me, Zach Wilson is better than Tua, fellas. It is what it is. I
Wow,
mean,
Pete,
the
this is
stats.
recorded,
Please
Pete.
kill the
Yo,
PD.
I'm
If you don't
done,
yo,
kill the
guys.
space,
I'm
take his
done.
mic.
yo,
I'm
Take his
not
mic.
taking his mic, Pete.
Pete,
Enough. All right.
Pete,
That's a non-courtesy mute. Zach Wilson is not better than Tua.
Pete, are you drinking?
I think if you could put Zach Wilson with Mike McDaniel and in this team,
You
he
just
would do
hate
better.
Tua. You
He would
just
be
hate
better
Tua.
than
Where's
Tua,
Mister Negative?
and he would be better than anything
PD,
Oh,
that he
PD,
did with
just
shit.
when
take
he
his
was with the
mic,
Jets.
bro.
Yo.
All right, Jeff fans, come up here if you
Zach
can.
Wilson is a top flight backup quarterback, if you ask me. He has the high
How?
ground pedigree, and
Y'all keep
he's
entertaining it.
Coach, what am I gonna do?
Yo, it's comedy in the morning, bro. You can't beat this.
he's young, and if he lands in the right situation, look at Daniel Jones.
Pete, I do
I
think
mean,
somebody
Sam
will take
Darnold.
a chance on him, Pete. Somebody will, but he top flight.
Exactly.
I mean, this is a take flight space by the Jets, but top flight. Come on, bro. Please, enough.
So those were the
PD,
same conversations that were being said about Sam Darnold.
all right, bro.
Hey,
Anyways, PD, I
All
ain't
hey,
right,
get to ask you. I ain't
yes,
get to ask you
yes,
last week.
coach. Yep.
I ain't get to ask
And
you last
then
week.
not only was those
How
the
was the
same
vibes
conversations on Sam
at the
Darnold, the
press
same
conference?
things were said about Gene.
Pete, that's a
yo,
courtesy mute. There's a question being asked.
yo. I would
Hold on,
love,
Pete.
I would
What,
love for them to get
co-
Zach Wilson.
coach? What would you say? How was the vibes at
I
at
didn't
the
get to ask you
press
last week,
conference?
but how was the
It was
vibes at the press
awesome, man.
conference?
It was pretty cool. Like the guy, the coach had everybody's attention. It was awesome. Like it was it was a breath of fresh air than hearing freaking Robert Sala with company lines.
Oh shit! I'm sorry, that's funny. My
Hector, what
bad.
up? Aaron, what up?
That was my bad. Yo, that shit is funny, bro.
June hell.
Yo, Zach Wilson is if Zach Wilson is Miami's answer. Please get him, please.
Hector, good
Yes,
morning.
sir. Morning. Morning, Jim.
What's going on?
Hector,
Morning.
What do you think of Quincy and JJ coming out saying they want Aaron Rodgers back? Wait, matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to read a quote since a lot of people
Oh
in this
my
space when they
god!
come in, this is not for anybody that's not in the space
Rib.
that say, "Oh,
Stop,
Aaron
man.
Rodgers if it was up to me, he's coming back." Linebacker Quincy Williams said during an appearance for Bounty Towels. On the field and off the field, he's a great person. He takes our game to another level.
Really?
Okay,
Rib.
but
And
so
What
he's such a
Rib.
level?
I
What
so
had
level did he
said
take
all
our
right.
team to
So
this
so
past
Quincy
season?
Williams is making this up. All right, cool. I'll
I
go
had
on mute.
Talk night.
but
Tell him, Pete.
Wait, wait,
Tell him,
wait, wait,
Petey.
wait, 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 wait. The level he took us to last year was 5 wins. What, like? Oh, you know what? I can't.
I
This.
think he's talking about professionalism, June.
What professionalism did you
So
see
what
last
level?
year?
Hold on.
He
So what
said
level is
on
Justin
and
Fields taking
off
y'all
the
to then?
field.
He's,
Yep.
he said on and off the field we was horrible.
June, if
On the
it
field
was
we
up
was
to
fine.
you, you would have Stiggers and JBC
Yeah,
as cornerbacks
I
one and two,
can't
and
Michael
Johnny
believe
Carter in the
Hector
this.
as running
slot.
back.
You would have Michael Clemens and then who's the other guy?
Ashton
What's his
Davis.
name? No,
Pete,
uh, Xavier, not Xavier Watts. Who was it? The guy on the
Xavier,
Leonard Taylor would be starting. No offense to Leonard
So
Taylor,
Gibson.
I
Gibson was
want him
wide
to
receiver.
develop.
Pete,
But June, you want to start all these young
Pete,
guys.
hey, Pete, and you want to bring the same 5 and 12 teams
No,
back,
I don't. If Aaron Rodgers
except for
comes back,
Lazard.
I don't want Lazard back.
I know that's the
Xavier
only guy you
Gibson
say,
could
Lazard.
go. Who else? There's other people that could go, June,
It's
and
little
they're
people
gonna.
who wasn't gonna make a change anyway. Like that doesn't mean anything. Like to bring this team back, stop, man, stop.
But
I'm so
June,
I'm so pissed with Quincy. I can't believe he even fucking said that shit.
That may be the
Yeah, why
feeling in
not?
the locker room, though, that they. But
Why you can't listen to NFL dudes?
Well, because the same NFL dudes got me 5 wins last year. That's why. So what sense would it be to bring them back?
Rib.
Hell no.
I love that the defensive guys want him back. Where's the offensive guys not named Lazard?
Well,
Yeah,
how about that Aaron Rodgers liked the post from the Jets about Garrett Wilson's highlights this year. Is
Petey,
that
I have no doubt. I think Aaron wants to play and be back, but I just, I, you're asking, you have your opinion of wanting him back.
of course.
I don't want him back, bro. Like, there's no this whole thing of he has to listen. I don't understand that. He's never done that.
In 20 plus years,
Never
Buckeye.
ever done that.
but you guys are making this up. Like
No,
How are we
Petey,
making it up?
Yeah,
Petey, did
yeah.
he get
June telling lies.
Petey? He won a Super Bowl with
Coach
McCarthy
Phillips.
and ran McCarthy out of town.
well, that's in the past. You the past, bro, as Tupac
That's
would say in
different.
Juice.
Wait, Peter, is that what you saying? But that was different though.
But
I don't get why
I
the
don't
Jets
care
didn't
about
hire
that.
an
Wait,
offensive
Buckeye.
coach.
Yeah, Buckeye. No disrespect. I don't care about the old regime. I don't. No offense to McCarthy, like he's a Super Bowl coach, but well, I don't see what the big deal is.
But
Like,
Petey,
Of course you know.
we did this last off season where we
mhm.
knew we didn't have coaching, we knew we didn't have an offensive mind in the room, and we played the game of being like, we have Aaron. So now we've got a guy in Aaron Glenn that we're having hope and confidence that can build a culture, and the leader who's not a leader of the quarterback of the guy who never listens to his coaches, including audibling and calling delay of games, is now going to miraculously change after 20 something years for Aaron Glenn, who's never done this at this. Like, it's just
Yeah,
setting Aaron Glenn
it,
up to
it, it
fail,
it
bro.
totally feels, at least from an outside perspective, dude. It feels like Aaron Rodgers has control of that offense, and Glenn was hired to take control of the defense, and that's what it sounds like from the outside, at least. This
So
is going to
great.
be Aaron
Then
Rodgers' show offensively.
everyone would be happy if our offense looked like last year. Then that's what you're saying because Aaron Rodgers runs the offense.
So
That's what it
Buckeye,
looks like.
if the defense, do you think if Salah stayed, the defense would have been better? I mean,
I
do
mean,
you
is
or
there any
no?
coach, offensive coach out there that's going to teach
Pete, hold
anything
on.
to Aaron Rodgers?
Pete, respectfully, hold on one second. Buckeye, do you think, answer that question. Do you think it would have been better with Salah?
Maybe at best, because I'll tell you that the answer is one. He lost JJ, right,
Yeah. Yeah, that was a
and
huge loss. Good point.
and his wins and
Hmm.
strength of schedule at that beginning were just cakewalks. It was cakewalk stuff.
Yep.
And Mark and listener has recited what the defense numbers did. He leaves out what the schedule was. He leaves out JJ. He leaves
Mm-hmm.
stuff out. I did see what it looked like in that 49ers game.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a defense that looked like they forgot there was a football game.
Mm-hmm.
I did see for years a team that was never prepared and ready for the game ever. Like, we always started at a
Flat.
deficit, always.
Flat. Always. Listen,
So, like,
I'll say this: if Aaron Rodgers come back, I'm gonna take a year off as a Jet fan.
I made you
Yeah, well,
You
and
promise, June?
I
You
promise.
promise?
I promise you. I promise you.
uh,
June.
I
I'm
promise
weak.
you. I promise you.
June, you ain't going anywhere
I,
with
I,
Boy,
this.
but
June be
Petey,
So
listen.
what?
I'll
So
tell you
what?
what
You're
the
gonna
biggest
be a
He
problem
Bills?
only be
is.
You're
sick.
gonna be a Bills fan, June?
No. I'm gonna take a year off from cheering. That's it. I'm gonna take a year
Petey,
off.
I'll
I
tell you what
know.
the biggest problem
Cheering, you
is.
want them to
No, you
lose.
not.
Go ahead,
June, no, you
Buckeye.
not. Stop lying.
The cap. The cap is the biggest problem. So running Aaron and Devontae back
Yeah.
pisses in the pool not only for 25 but for 26.
Hmm.
And then the solution that you've given is spread it out, baby. So then we always become the, like, 8 to 14 pick or whatever the hell it is, because we ain't making the playoffs. We're not.
Hmm.
Coupled with we do not have cap room. and we're
Yep.
expecting shit to change. Why? Why would you
But
expect
all right,
this to
Buckeye,
change?
we have
Petey, if
cap room
Rogers
going
and
forward.
Adams restructure, do you guys create a lot of cap space?
Yeah, but
Thank you.
I'm not even for the whole
A lot.
Roger. Hold on, for the Rogers thing, it's getting complicated. But Adams definitely has to rework his deal because he has no guaranteed money.
But Peter, he's still going to get what, 19, 20 million
Prob-
dollars.
Probably, but it'll free up probably 15, 16 million with the cap, which is a lot of money.
But what is it? I guess my question is, I know
You
what
could
you're
sign
saying.
a
I
whole
don't want
draft
to watch
class with that.
non-competitive football, but competitive losing is losing. Like that's
Okay,
what we watch, competitive losing.
I
And
get it. You want to
Competitive losing is hilarious.
yeah. Dom, go ahead. You're off of mute. I want to hear from you.
No, I'm just listening to this conversation, and it's like it personally, it's me pulling hair out of my
Me
head.
too.
Um, you know, I just don't like. We can restructure and kick the money down the road, but you got to pay it at some
Facts.
point. Like, what are we doing? Like, I think Buckeye makes a fair point. You're the worst thing to do than the only thing worse than being like a laughing stock in a top three, picking top three overall of the time, is being 8 and 9, 7 and 10, 9 and 8, and being in that middle of the pack, because it gives you that much less of a chance to be better. Like, I don't see the point. Like, the money's not going away. I don't understand why everyone's talking about restructuring Aaron Rodgers. Like, you have to pay that money.
Yeah,
You can decide if you want to be. You can decide if you want to pay X amount now and X times 3 over the next 2 years. You can decide if you want to take all one lump sum now, this, that, the other thing. But like, forget about like if he gives you the best chance to win right here, right now. Like, it's not the best fiscal decision for the team and the salary cap moving forward. It's just
It ain't.
not.
and
Dom,
and
I
You know what
and
I mean?
and
understand.
Dom, the
I
other
get
thing
it.
is, it's not as if we're like the 49ers that have had unbelievable going to Super Bowls where they're trying to run something back and see if they can capture the last like drips in the bottle. We have been
Mhm.
bullshit running it back. Like this makes no sense.
None.
Yeah, but wait, let me just comment on that with Dom
Wow.
and Buckeye real quick. You
Yeah,
got
but what do you what do you? Hang on one second, Pete.
yeah.
What are you running to that point? Like, what are we running back? We're running back a 5-12
Thank
squad.
you.
Didn't
I'm
Aaron
not
That's
Rodgers
what
Dom.
that's
prove
what we're
that he
I'm
running
can
not
back.
play
saying
again
run it
after
all
that
back,
Achilles injury?
but hear me out, Pete. Hold on, Dom. To that point, the whole Rogers
Yes.
thing, I understand that. Okay, if he comes back, you know, whatever. It is what it is. But a lot of people in here stating, "Oh, I want long-term stability, success. I'd rather not go 9 and 8, and then I'd rather go, have a bad record and then have long-term success for the future." Yes, I do too. But what to a point? I want to get rid of this. I want to make 9 and 8 almost made the playoffs last year with the Dolphins
Well, we
during this
weren't
last
almost nine
week.
and eight, Petey. We
I'm
weren't.
just saying,
No, I
though.
get
Who
it.
says we can't do it?
But we had the
Bro.
right
Why?
coaching
Yo,
back
you
then,
just
Hey,
said
Petey.
we can.
almost.
Who says you can't go 17-0 next year? Who
Nobody,
says we
because
can't go
it's
17-0?
never happened. It's happened
Obviously,
once.
Petey,
Go ahead,
Petey, look
Dom.
look at the
but
Colts. Look at
it's
the Colts doing Philip Rivers and Carson Wentz. They were like, we're close. We're going to do. Now they missed a window, and they never did a thing. They never did a thing by
But they
running those
still
vets out.
drafted and they reset at quarterback, and it didn't work yet.
They tried.
June.
I'd rather watch trying than Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz, Philip Rivers. It was.
my whole thing, Petey. I'm
No, go
sorry,
ahead.
Buck. I
No, go ahead.
apologize. Go ahead. No, I didn't mean to cut you off. My whole thing with Rodgers is there's no doubt that of the free agents and all that stuff, that he undoubtedly gives you the best chance to win,
Right.
but he's not coming as a free agent. He's coming with a hefty 60, 49 to $63 million cap hit for, in essence, 1 year of playing. That 1 year is going to trickle through 2027. Now, you talked about getting the stink away, Pete. Don't you want to just like drain the swamp and get the stink and give this regime a brand new start
Yes.
in every facet,
Uh,
in every facet, including the salary cap?
let me see what they say when they're playing. Yes, Dom, to a point though. To a point. I don't want to see a 3-14 team next year. I
So,
don't.
Pete, if you're
Well,
going to
Sorry.
draft,
Because you don't,
because you
Hold
because you don't
Buckeye.
have Aaron Rodgers doesn't
Go ahead.
because you don't
Can
have
you help
Aaron
Buckeye?
Rodgers
yeah.
will not necessitate
Go ahead, Dom. Sorry.
Pete. I'm the way I'm interpreting what you're saying is Aaron Rodgers, we got a chance. No Aaron Rodgers, we're 3-14. I
yeah,
don't think
that's
that.
crazy.
I don't think that. I'm not saying it's crazy. I don't think that. Listen,
No,
do you have is Aaron Rodgers maybe the best option to start this year in terms of talent?
that's what I'm
Absolutely.
saying.
I'm not denying that.
Hmm.
But because Aaron Rodgers won't be here doesn't necessarily that doesn't mean that you're going to automatically go, 3-14 or so on and so forth.
Pete,
Okay, that's
If
fair.
you're running Devontae back, you don't want to draft that wide receiver, correct?
No, then you probably go. That's why I want if Devontae's. I want to see the plan. If Devontae's gone, I would draft a wide receiver if he's
What if
there.
you get your wish and Devontae and Aaron are back? Do you want a wide receiver?
You're going to have to draft a
Yeah,
wide receiver
probably in the third
regardless.
round, the second, third, or fourth round.
So, what's your expectations on a third round wide receiver from this draft?
No, better than Malachi Corley.
We don't even know what Malachi is because of
I
Aaron.
know.
So who
Will
do
y'all
y'all want
trade?
going,
Will you
Devontae or
guys
Garrett?
trade
Because
your
because
first?
June keeps saying something about
Will you
Garrett
guys trade
trading
your
Garrett.
first and a third for Tyreek Hill?
No,
He wants out
Pete.
of
Now
Miami.
stop. All right, Pete. Enough.
Yo, Pete
You
is
know, people
crazy.
asked me to mute the room for you before that. That one is a mute. I am not giving Tyreek. The Jets didn't even
Yo.
offer Tyreek Hill a first round pick in 2022. They agreed to it 2 second-round picks, Pete. Stop. Let me get to Matty Ice and Dan. Pete, don't do it. I'm not gonna drop you yet. Don't do it though. Go ahead, Matty,
Boy, Pete
and
is
then Dan. That's a delayed mute, coach. Mr. Ice, good morning.
Hey, what's up? Look, a month or two, I tweeted out like if the Jets had better coaching, they would have went 9-8 or 10-7. I definitely tweeted that out. But here's the problem, Petey. Like you bring Rodgers back, can you go 10-7? I'm like 100% sure that they possibly can with much better coaching and maybe fortifying certain aspects of the defense. But here's the big problem: they're not going to beat these teams in the playoffs. Even if they got into the playoffs, they're not going to beat these teams. So it's like, what's the point of going 10-7? But now here I'm going to be really annoying to everybody. I'm going to play devil's advocate with my own opinion, which is really obnoxious. PD and I and a bunch of you guys also lived through the Parcells era, and I'm not comparing Aaron Glenn by any means to Bill Parcells, but what I am saying is that they essentially went from rags to riches. They went from a team that sucked immediately overnight to a team that was immediately competing, and then 1 year later they were contending with an older veteran quarterback. I know Vinny was not nearly as old as Aaron, but I think when you do see that, you do sort of want to have like green colored goggles.
Yeah, I still think
Matty,
the Jets are a
it's
good
not green
contender.
color goggles. It's not green color goggles.
I don't think there's a quarterback that the Jets can find
But
right now that'll upgrade Aaron Rodgers. Not in the draft. All those names aren't going to be an upgrade over Aaron Rodgers. And that whole point, oh, just eat the cap this year, you're making no sense. If you're still going to pay it later, this is the year Aaron Rodgers has his opportunity. So it's
yeah,
it's it's
let me
clear you
wait, Pete.
restructure it.
Pete, let me ask Dom real quick, and then Dan, go ahead. Dom, real quick. Dom, are you here? Can you hear me? Dom? Well, whatever. This is the point I'll make. If Aaron Rod,
I'm
He
here.
all
didn't
I'm
right.
like
here.
the
I'm here.
restructure
I just
part.
got back into my car.
So yeah, I'm not saying restructure. If they bring him back, then the cap accelerates, yes, to next year where they have to pay that bonus. I get that. But I'd rather spread out the 35 dead million for the next 2 years going down the road. I'd
Exactly.
rather than eat 49 million. Then we have no money this year. So you
It's not 35 million though, Petey. Once they accept that bonus in 26 and 27, it becomes
Thank
60.
okay?
you.
So no, I'm reading. So I'm reading this over the cap thing wrong. Then His cap number is
It,
63 million. It says if the Jets cut him, it, that they save 28
they
million and they eat 35, which they would pre June 1st it if he
But
retires or
there's a
whatever.
roster bonus that's not.
Okay,
I mean,
maybe I'm reading this wrong, and if somebody can explain it to me differently, well, his year, his, it's a void
hang on.
year.
I'm in the car, Petey. I'm in the car, Petey.
Hmm.
So I will find once I
Because
park,
all
I will
right,
find the link and I'll
all
put it
right,
up in the
Dom,
jumbo.
real quick, just
Petey,
hear me out, and then I'll go. It says it's a void year in 2026. So the cap number
Worth
is
how much?
63 million, but it says dead money 35 million, cap savings 28 million. So
Petey, can I say
38.
one more thing?
It is not.
Good.
You're. Yeah, forget it. That's got just continue doing what you're doing. I gotta when I'm able to park,
Pete,
I'll find the true breakdown from it. But it goes from 49 million this year. If you take that roster, that option bonus in 26 and 27, you're now spreading out. I think 60 or
Yeah, but
62
you're gonna
million now.
pick up that option
It,
in
it
2026, Dom.
Boy, y'all all some capologists. What it sound like.
Petey,
Yes. And then Dan,
you work in sales, right?
go ahead.
I don't know. A lot of you guys who work in sales,
Hmm.
what the Jets are doing right now, there's this expression in sales that you're either chasing squirrels or hunting bear. And what the Jets would be doing by bringing Aaron Rodgers back is they're chasing squirrels. They're going after small deals versus the pleasure delay of hunting the big bear. And they got to start hunting the bear. That's what the Jets need to start doing. They can't be chasing these little squirrels, getting these little deals, and going paycheck by paycheck.
Petey,
Okay.
let me ask you a question. Do you think
Yes.
Aaron
And then
Rodgers,
June and wait. And then June and Buckeye, I need you for like 10, 15 minutes. I got to step away.
Petey, do you think that Achilles did Aaron Rodgers prove that he showed progress throughout the season 1 year off of that Achilles injury?
I think he compensated. He got hurt. His hamstring got hurt because he was compensating. He was, it was in his head. It was mental. And I think towards the end of the year, he,
Those two
he
Dolphin
really
games,
started
bro,
getting,
that guy fought,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, he started getting his legs back. Now, I think, will he be as good as this year on the field?
I think it'll only get
Maybe.
better. He's back.
I don't know. He's old. So
June, when people request, can you bring them up? Because I can't. So Petey's leaving. I
who's
no
requesting?
before it doesn't let me bring
All
them
right,
up. So I don't
let
know
me
if
get
June
to,
has that.
I,
yeah, let me get to Dan. Dan, good morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Pete.
I'll be right
I'll make
back,
it
guys. Good morning.
I'll make it brief. To me, at what point is the deadline? Like to finally say, all right, you know what, this is our plan moving forward. Aaron Rodgers, you're coming back or you're not. It's got to be right after the Super Bowl, right? Maybe 2 weeks after. You can't let this linger on to the middle of March, heading into the draft. There's got to be something.
Yeah, well,
it,
Dan, real quick before I step away fully, free agency is what, March 15th? I don't know
Yep.
what
second week
okay,
in
so
March.
yeah, so after the
Tampering
Super
starts on
Bowl,
the 10th.
right, so you're going to have to, there's going to be changes, and Lazard's probably going to be gone in the next
Mhm.
couple of weeks. Yes, they got to make a decision soon.
And just piggybacking off of Matty Ice's point with with Aaron Glenn and Bill Parcells and that era and that year with Vinny, when I hear, oh, we can't compete with these other teams, this and that, with the right coaching, obviously in '98 it showcased it. We had an aging quarterback there, the right offensive line, a powerhouse defense, even wide receiver Keyshawn, Krebet, you got Devontae, Garrett Wilson. Yes, Curtis Martin is a Hall of Famer. I get it. Brees Hall in there. You play your cards right with the right coaching. Again, the coaching, we have no idea what we're getting. But if you have a disciplinary mindset that everyone is accountable and Aaron Rodgers comes back, it could be a special year. It could be.
100%.
So who's the recent defensive-minded head coach with a veteran quarterback
Mhm.
coming off of a losing year? Like this is history if
And
this
Aaron
happens.
Glenn coming off the Lions, knowing how aggressive they were, and also him seeing the offense go for it so many times on fourth down, he's going to trust Aaron Rodgers to do all of that. Aaron Rodgers is going to have to carry the load offensively,
Well, he
and
better
Aaron
bring that O
Glenn
line with him.
is going to do exactly what that gentleman just said. Instill discipline, no penalties, be on time, and hold these guys accountable throughout the roster, not just on one side. That's
Pete,
what Aaron Glenn seems like he's bringing to New York.
At
Pete,
best, this is Tom Coughlin in the Tim's years.
like
At best,
you are asking Aaron Rodgers to do something that he hasn't done in 20 years. You're asking him something like you're asking him
No,
something that
you know what?
no, no wait a minute, wait a minute.
Not
You're asking,
really.
The
Not
media
not.
what do
I
you mean?
apologize. You're not asking
the
him
media
to
damaged
move
the
heaven and
fan
earth.
base of the New York Jets because expecting any football player to come into a new organization and make it a championship caliber overnight. There's only one Tom Brady. So don't give me Tom Brady as a comparison. It doesn't happen. It takes continuity, and all of that was set back just by one injury in week one. So the reset is this year for you guys. This is the year Aaron Rodgers is coming back healthy. Picture this season
at
be
42 years of
he's
age?
healthy now.
Pete, name me one quarterback at 42 years of age that was able to be competent, that was able to be a competent starting quarterback.
I think he's better than some of these 25, 28-year olds that are in the NFL right now.
he can't run a yard.
He looked
Like, come on,
that
like
that's
what are we
not true.
doing?
But I saw the Dolphins game. The man was mobile. He was pushing
Well,
that ball.
It's more of an inflection. It's
And those were
more
games
on
late
the
in the
Dolphins
season.
than
When did we
anything.
play you
Wait,
guys?
wait. I was about to say the same thing, Buckeye. Like, look who we talking about against the Dolphins. The
We had a
Dolphins.
top 10 defense.
The
It
the
wasn't something
the
like
You,
dog.
he did it against a
you did
Yo,
trash
not.
why
I,
team.
why are
again,
we
I
why why are we
those
letting
numbers lie.
Pete
You guys were
why are
not
we
a top
letting
10
Pete
defense
troll
this year,
us?
man.
Why are we
You
letting
right,
Pete
Em.
troll us?
Em, you right. You right. You right. You right. Pete,
PD,
you doing
did I say
doing this shit
anything that was
deliberately.
trolling?
You're
Did-
trolling. You're trolling, dude. Come on. At 42, you you're a Miami fan. I get it. This isn't. You don't need to be doing this.
I mean, he's not. I mean, he's
Eh,
not Kirk Cousins. He's not Kirk Cousins. But I mean, just because you can move a little bit doesn't mean that you're considered a mobile
Mobile,
or
right?
even a pocket mobile
He's
quarterback.
faster than Jared Goff.
yo, trolling.
Jared
Yeah.
And
Goff was just in the NFC
you guys
Championship
are
game and he's
accepting this.
faster than
Yo,
him.
I'm at work. I have to jump on and say this.
What is you guys' feelings on Miles Garrett this offseason? He's staying or is he leaving?
He's gone.
Miles Garrett,
I mean, Garrett Wilson.
Garrett.
Well, I'll tell you what. If Aaron's back, he gone.
Yeah.
He's already unhappy with the organization. I mean, I mean, we kept saying it, man. He wants a
Running
plan.
back.
Petey's
He
going to tell
wants a
you that
plan.
Aaron's going to
Stop
change
that
who he
shit.
He's too
is.
much of a
Garrett's
dog
going to
to
change
sit
his
behind
opinion.
Devontae Adams. Is that the problem? Like,
No,
But
he
y'all,
wants
but hold on. But y'all missed the first part of the conversation. June was trying to trade Garrett Wilson for two firsts.
no,
So
he said
like,
a
what
first
does
and a
it matter?
third.
What does it
He said
matter
a
when
first and
June
a
don't even
third.
want him on the team?
June said a first and a third.
I
First
told
to
him
the
a
third.
first and a third, and he told me no. We need two first.
But
does
Mark,
he wait a minute. Does he want to stay in New York?
Talk,
No.
ask June.
If he wants to stay in New
Hey,
York, he needs to buy the
I'm
program out
back.
of
let's
We
Cleveland.
go
don't
to what are
know
we
it.
doing here,
All right,
Mark Torres.
stop, Buckeye. By the way, can you guys, check the Buckeye, check the comments, please? So, as a co-host, you should read them off.
Oh, I don't know what we're doing. You know what? I want to say it. I can't talk. In a couple minutes, I'll be able to talk more. I think Pete's onto something. Pete's takes. I like this. Good morning.
Mark,
Uh,
relax.
You better start scouting
If
Jackson Dart.
you are
Jackson Dart.
agreeing with him that Zach Wilson is better than Tua, you need to relax.
No, who's a more talented
There
quarterback,
he is.
Jared
Yeah,
Goff or Aaron Rodgers?
What?
Jared Goff at this stage of his career is more mobile than Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
We got to stop this.
Yes.
No, get out
No,
of
he's
We
here.
Yes.
He's more
not. Where did
we
he
got to
precise.
Yes, he
get
stop acting
that?
like
is.
Jared
Are
No,
Goff.
y'all okay?
no
Mark,
way, dude.
Mark,
Wow.
we gotta stop acting like Jared
He
Goff didn't run
said
4.85.
Jared
He run
Goff
the same
is
40
more
time as
mobile
Baker
than
Mayfield.
Rodgers.
That's
Yes.
what I'm talking about.
Come
Yes. At
on.
42,
Get out of here, man.
coming off of an Achilles, he is
Yeah, y'all
we gotta stop
bullshit.
acting like Jared Goff
It's
did
okay.
not run a 4.85
It's
This is
okay.
why
time. He
Twitter
ran the
gets away
same
with
40
things. If
time
we
as
were
Baker
on
Mayfield.
YouTube, the film
Why are
don't
you bringing
lie.
combine
The
scores in?
Can Mark finish his point, please? I'm humbly listening to this. Go ahead, Mark.
How are we bringing combine scores in here? This guy's a vet. Dude, Aaron Rodgers is elusive in the pocket and another year removed from an Achilles. I'm not saying the problem here is that you guys are thinking about him as old school Aaron Rodgers and saying, oh, well, he's not MVP Rodgers. Who? The Jets don't need MVP Rodgers. They
the
need they
Mark,
need decent quarterback play.
that
What
has
the hell
nothing
are we
that has
doing?
nothing to do with his athleticism. He's 42 years of age. We saw the decline in his
Go
lateral
look at his
quickness.
stats, Jarek.
We
Go look
see
at
we
his
see
stats and
the
compare it to
decline.
other quarterbacks in the league. What do you think of those stat lines?
What'd you say, Mark? Sorry about that.
Go look at his stat lines and then come on back in and tell me what you think of his stat line
What are we talking about?
over the year.
Are
Aaron
we
Rodgers, this past
are we talking about
year.
passing
And
yards?
this is a guy passing yards, touchdowns, interceptions. And go look at this guy.
Mark, that has nothing to do
And
with his
keep in
that has
mind,
nothing to do with it. That has
hold
nothing to do
on,
with it.
hold on, and keep
Okay.
in mind that he's was 40 going into 41 and coming off an Achilles. And let's not forget one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Mark, he's
And
a
now
So
look
Bills
at his
fan.
stat
wait a
line.
minute. So Philip
He's a
Rivers.
Bills fan.
So
He watched that second Bills game. Aaron was atrocious. Like I'm telling you,
The team was atrocious, Buckeye.
if you
We
look
can't
at the
pick and
games
choose.
where he statted up, right? These were weak ass teams where he got a bulk of his stats.
Buckeye, here's the
and
problem with your analysis of that Bills game, especially the second one, is you're ignoring the performance of the offensive line in the second half.
I just know that Tyrod Taylor
Once they
came in
lost their
and
left
immediately it
tackle.
looked different.
Okay. All right. So now Tyrod Taylor's the savior.
No,
Got
Tyrod
it.
Taylor is the savior in the sense of the cap. I want to save the cap. I don't want to
All right. What
run
if
it
they
back.
fix the money? What if they fix the money with Rodgers? Because I
How? You
listened to this
can't.
all. Hold on. I listened to this all off season long last year. Oh, Rodgers and the money and the
The
whatever.
bill
And then he took,
comes due.
There you go.
and then he took what kind of pay cut? Which was predicted by how many people in
We
what
gotta stop
business?
being. We gotta stop being.
Listen, are you listening to what I'm saying?
No.
But
He
Mark,
took a pay cut, and
Mark,
who
you're
predicted
pushing the
him? What
money.
genius capologist predicted Aaron Rodgers' pay cut?
But Mark, you're
Bring that
pushing the
person up here
money.
to talk.
You're just pushing it. It
We
doesn't
gotta
go
stop
away.
being. We gotta stop being. We gotta stop playing with child support
What if they
and
start to
pay up.
make?
thank you, thank
What if
you.
they do something? What if they make a deal with Rodgers and figure this money situation out? Is there a way to do that? I'm asking.
No.
Mark, do you recall when
I'm
Rodgers
not gonna completely
restructured and
eliminate it.
said
He
Howard
could.
Hughes
It's
said he
possible.
was gonna, make this massive thing. He took less money.
Mark is trolling too.
I
No,
don't
I'm
think he
asking
is.
Nah,
questions. I'm
he's
not coming in with
serious.
an
No,
agenda.
he's
I'm
serious,
asking a
man.
question
Yeah,
about
he's
this
serious. Trust me, he's serious.
because everyone is fighting about the fact that Rodgers and the money, Rodgers and the money, the money, the money. I'm asking if you can make the money work out. If there's a way to do it, would people stop talking about it? Or is this a straw man and people just don't want Aaron Rodgers back and they're using the money as the excuse?
Can
No,
I
this
ask a
ain't no straw
question, Mark?
man. Like, I mean, do we
I
want to be
think the
New
latter.
Orleans? Do we,
Emerson, how are you? Good to hear from
um,
you.
yeah,
Emerson, real quick, I'm not shooting down your point, but New Orleans has been 70 million over the cap. The Jets are still 20 plus million under the cap, so it's not that
But
bad.
Petey,
But Pete,
you're
right
mentioning a
now,
team that's
they
also a
have to
top
pay
10
it.
pick. New
But
Orleans
PD,
is a bottom level team too
Also taking consideration the cap goes up every year as well. So.
for
did they get a
everybody.
coach? Did they get a coach yet?
They still don't
no,
have a
it's going to
coach.
No
probably
one
be
even wants
Kellen.
that shitty
It's going
job.
to be Kellen Moore,
I
Yeah, yeah,
hope
probably.
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
Anthony
Emerson,
It's
Weaver,
they
Kellen
don't
Moore.
have
Petey.
a coach.
It's
I hope
Kellen
it's
Moore.
They don't
Anthony
have a
Weaver.
coach
Look,
because the Jets took Aaron Glenn, which the Saints wanted, but apparently Jet fans were like, "Oh no, Aaron Glenn was not a great." I don't understand this
Mark,
bullshit,
quick
dude.
question. If you
It's
take
crazy.
the Texans game out, give me a good team that Aaron Rodgers looked really good in. Which game did he look really good in that they were a really good team? Take the
A
Texans game
winning
out.
team. A winning team.
Yeah.
So we're all right. So you're going to carve this pie up,
No,
take out the
I'm just thinking
Texans.
you watched 17
I thought he
games.
looked solid against the
If
Texans.
you watch, if
No.
you
That's the
rewatch
that's
the
the one
end,
game.
That's the only game.
No.
What's the other
oh,
game?
okay, asked and answered. I'm saying if you rewatch the end, if you rewatch the Dolphins game at the very last game of the season, and I
We said a
understand what
good
you're
team.
saying,
Dolphins?
Yeah, the
We said a
Jets
good
versus the
team.
So
Dolphins.
see,
wait,
here's the
hold
outrage.
on,
Okay, can I
Mark. Can I
talk?
help you with this, Mark? Did Aaron Rodgers, besides that interception, look good against? Everybody's going to say, "Oh, he threw a Hail Mary against the Bills." I
He
mean,
threw a
they
Hail
were.
Mary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he still had
They were in
294
that
yards
game until the
passing.
second half and he lost the tackle. They were in that game.
And look, can I ask everybody a question? If you bring back Aaron,
What's
you
up?
And
bring
that
back.
was with no coach,
Wait,
Petey.
wait,
My fault,
hold
June.
on.
Go ahead.
Pete,
All
hold
right.
on. I don't
If
want to
What?
you
mute you again,
Yo,
Pete.
June, ask your question.
if you bring back Aaron Rodgers, you bring back Devontae. Is this team honestly competing for a Super Bowl next year?
Probably not.
Right. So what? So what's the fucking
Wait, why do we do it like that though,
No,
Yeah,
no,
Gene?
he
no.
that.
No,
Guys,
Wow.
Hold on, Mark.
get to the
Mark,
Super
Wow.
Bowl?
hold on.
Joan is speaking from the perspective of the teams that are in the playoffs now are going to get better too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So
You got to be realistic.
so let's be. This is what I'm saying. Just be realistic. This team is not competing for. They're not competing for the division. They're not competing for no Super Bowl. So what's the purpose in just going along with the fucking flow? Rebuild this shit the way it's
I'll give you
supposed to
the
be built,
purpose.
so that you can be competitive for years to come. Don't do this shit like the Band-Aid. The Band-Aid shit gotta stop, man.
But how are you going to be
All right,
competitive
that
for the years
works.
to come
Hold
with no
on.
quarterback this year? Go ahead,
Bro,
Exactly.
bro,
go ahead,
Petey,
MT.
nobody
No,
thought
but
the
Petey, you're
Commanders
thinking
were
about
going to
this
do shit
year.
this season, bro, and they were highly
He
competitive.
and
That doesn't mean you can't be competitive, but
right,
you're freeing yourself from the shackles of bad
right,
contracts,
right,
of what ifs, straight brand new, okay, and then you could slowly adjust your team to everybody has a cast of cheese, right?
right.
But even with them, they constantly restructure their team and get rid of bad
Mm-hmm.
contracts. Their defense is young again.
Mm-hmm.
They're about to go on another 5-year run,
Yeah.
bro, and they're about to add more wide receivers.
All right,
So if you want to compete with
let's
Yo,
that,
hear
you're not going to
let's hear,
compete with that with an
hey,
old
hey,
team.
let me
Uh,
hear Mark's point, June, real quick. Go ahead, Mark.
Here's the
Mark,
problem is that yeah, everyone's trying to bottom out the team for these magical players that are going to appear but can't actually name the names. It always looks nice from the outside looking in when you're like, oh, get a bunch of draft capital. Now you can actually bring in and sign the guys you want. But it's a pipe, it's nothing, it's vapor. Like we don't know who these people are. Instead, you're telling me that there are teams that can't figure out, okay, let's win. Let's be 8-9, 9-8, 8-9, 9-8. And when the right quarterback appears, which by the way, a lot of people tell us these next two drafts are super top heavy at the quarterback position, and then it's a bunch of trash, a bunch of
Wait a minute,
projects and
Mark.
you
trash.
Mark,
want to know what's you?
Why
Mark, I
don't
got
you
hold on.
instead, hold on, I'm not done. Why don't you instead build a good team through the draft, cycle out bad contracts, sure, but be a consistent, like be a decent team, a middle of the road team, and then when the quarterback appears, then you sell the farm. Then you
Hey,
start
Mark.
losing your
Mark.
draft picks
So
and you
let's
jump
listen to
up.
that
Yeah,
statement.
yeah.
How do we do that with Aaron Rodgers on the team?
People don't understand that Aaron Rodgers is now in bridge quarterback mode. I think you guys,
No,
I don't,
no,
you
no, no,
guys
no,
are
no, no, no,
putting
no, no,
him
no.
up as an
Let's go back
all-in
to your statement. Let's
situation,
go
and
back
it's
to your
not.
statement.
Just think,
You
just
said
think.
build through the draft.
Right.
How do you do that?
Wait,
Uh,
wait. I'm sorry, Em, but you're right. Where you going with it, Mark? You just said you want to get a bunch of draft capital and a bunch of question marks, and then you go right back in the next sentence and say build the team through the draft.
and how can you say he's a bridge
That's
quarterback when he hasn't helped nobody
that's
develop?
contradicting
The guy
statement.
behind him is
he's
not even there
never
anymore.
been a bridge quarterback.
How can we say he's never helped the guy develop and we're
Who
watching
has he
Jordan
helped
Love be
develop?
Mark,
successful?
hold on. Didn't we build the team through the draft in 2022 when, Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, they elevated everything. And then the Jets thought they could
Those
win
people are
with the right
gone.
quarterback.
Those
No, they're
people are
not.
gone.
Who?
Mark, you know who
Garrett Wilson's gone?
I'm talking about the people
Mark,
who brought those people in.
Mark, you know who's been
Joan, depending
responsible
on
for
a guy
developing
that doesn't
quarterbacks?
talk to his mother to
You know who's been
develop
responsible for
anybody, come on.
developing quarterbacks? Tyrod Taylor. He helped Justin Herbert, helped
Yep,
Baker Mayfield.
yep.
I mean, those quarterbacks literally came out and said how much,
That's
especially during the
what
hard
needs to
knocks,
get off the Jets roster
when
right
Baker
there.
Mayfield said he's one of the best. He learned preparation from Tyrod. He learned
Yeah,
how
but
to.
Tyrod
that's not Aaron
Taylor needs
Rodgers.
If you guys have Tyrod Taylor on the roster, that's how you'll have no shot next year. You got
Well,
it.
he's going
You
to
don't
be
have a
on the
shot
roster, Pete.
regardless.
P
Like, what are you
P.
talking? Like what?
Wait,
Listen,
I
hold
don't
on,
want to hear
June.
anything
June,
about
before you go
Tyrod
off,
Taylor.
June.
You guys
June,
need
pause it.
blood
1 minute.
under Aaron
wait,
Rodgers. Young,
wait.
cheap.
Timon Sa,
Pete, Pete,
listen, man,
Pete.
he do not represent the old Dolphins
Well,
fan
yeah,
base.
Guys,
show
wait,
already said so, but wait, I gotta say this.
June.
Yeah,
I gotta
please,
say this.
listen.
Guys, just a quick announcement for the space, real quick, June. When people are referring to Pete now, it's not me.
Yeah,
It's Pete's takes.
wait,
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
get
yeah.
that
Not
right.
to accept
wait,
Eli, man.
So
I,
Petey, I'm gonna say Petey. I would say Pete. He
look,
does not represent the Dolphins fan base any
show
Yeah,
football
we
already
know
wise.
see
that.
that show, but wait,
Okay.
for those that just came,
June,
wait,
hey, PD and June, you know why they say I don't represent the Dolphins fan base? Because I was
Tell
doing
him.
what you guys,
Tell him.
I was doing what you
Ask
guys,
him about
some of
Kone
you guys are
Swabdi.
now doing. June doesn't
Yeah, yeah,
want
parle
Aaron
garbage, oui.
Rodgers. I didn't want Tua.
Salo pouillet.
Some of these
Well,
guys,
wait a minute.
some
Don't
of
wait a
these
minute. The
guys
Dolphins fan
wanted
base don't
Tua.
want
They
Tua.
were diehard Tua fans,
Pete,
Pete, they don't want
and
Tua.
Pete.
no, they love Tua.
They
Hey
don't want
Pete,
Tua now.
Pete,
Now,
hey Pete, look, I gotta,
So
oh,
you
I'm
were right.
saving
hey
this.
Pete,
You were
This is
right.
so
Pete,
clip worthy. Say that again, Coach.
Listen,
You're right.
Pete. I gotta take your takes with a grain of salt. You said you rather have Zach Wilson over Tua.
You
That's
feel me?
crazy.
100%.
Listen, June. All you gotta do
That's
is
All
talk
right,
for an
crazy.
Pete.
hour. All the
Why
truth
do
is
you have
gonna
to?
come out, man. I
All right,
promise you.
Pete. I mean,
Yo, that shit
all right,
crazy.
Mark. Listen, I don't
June, who
understand.
you rather
Josh,
have, Aaron Rodgers
wait.
or
Let me.
Tua?
No, I was just gonna ask
Neither one.
Josh a question.
Neither one
Josh,
of them.
do you want Aaron Rodgers back, Josh? Can you talk, Shade, or not?
PD, when they
Yeah,
say they don't want Aaron Rodgers back, I want to hear who they would replace him with. I'm
That's.
so
I mean,
tired of
I'm
people
okay
just
with.
saying I don't want Aaron
But
Rodgers.
It
so
Tell me
I'm
who
doesn't
to
so all
matter.
replace
right.
him with.
It
So
doesn't
It
matter.
does
Now it
matter,
doesn't
Buckeye.
matter.
No,
You
it
hear that?
doesn't.
so
That's
It
the laziest take in the
so
office right
It's
now.
a
so
Yep,
puntier.
I agree with Pete.
see, you guys want to win this season. You want to win. You want to contend. We're not gonna contend, but you want to win and fuck up our whole
You
draft.
want to saddle
I
June? You
mean
want to
we
That's
saddle a
see,
Brady
that's
coach
why
with a
I
shit
always come
record?
back to this. Like, do you want to win or do you want to look nice? Play like I don't understand.
It's
Like,
crazy, Em.
what are we
It's
winning?
crazy, Em. It's crazy.
I don't
I don't.
understand. Like, for the life of me, what are we winning?
You're
Nothing.
cutting. June. Are you cutting Aaron Rodgers and bringing in Sam Darnold?
No,
He's mobile.
I don't. I don't want Sam. Once again,
Sam doesn't want us.
exactly. Especially the way we treated
These
him,
guys don't have
which is
answers,
fucked
man.
up.
They have no answers except for break the whole thing down, burn it down to the
But
studs. They
Mark,
would rather look at a grass lot, a field, than actually look at any kind of progress, any kind of building at all. And they're trying to sell us that it's sexy. I'm not in.
Hey,
I am out.
we were told we were a playoff team. We were told that we could compete for the Super Bowl last year, and we only won 5 games.
Emerson, did you
Period.
think we had a good chance to make the playoffs? Most Jet fans did. I'd say
Well, yeah, and
95% of
guess
the fan
what?
base.
And guess
But
what?
but
I'm
say, right.
when
But
you
saying,
first
go ahead.
when you get fooled, you don't line up to get fooled again.
But
Facts.
who's
Say it
fooling
When there's
again.
a
this
cloud
Say
time?
it
about
again,
Kane,
Em.
that's the
Say it
problem.
again, brother.
When I try to go out with a girl and she says, "All right, let's go," and then I go to meet her and she doesn't show
I'm
up,
not giving it a second
guess what?
opportunity. Right.
Guys, I understand the
I'll
logic
never
of the
call her
dating
again.
game, but this is totally different.
Everybody forgets about the coaching staff we had.
No.
Everybody
Good.
forgets.
Exactly, Mark.
Heck. It's
Yeah,
more.
What do you mean
Heck,
forget? They
it's
they
more
never
than just
coached.
coaching.
exactly.
But
Exactly.
heck, it's more than just. See, look, the same way we thought we was a quarterback away. No, it was more than a quarterback. It was quarterback and coach.
Jeff Erbridge.
Oh,
Y'all thought
but
Jeff Erbridge was gonna turn the regime around last season? Come on,
right.
man.
Albrecht. Albrecht.
Pete,
Ulbrich.
You're killing me,
Good
Pete.
morning.
Come on, man.
No,
I
they
gotta
fire the
step in for
coach
a
and
second.
flush the season down the toilet is what
Medic,
happened.
what up, man?
What's going
And
on,
then they
June?
pin
How
it
are
on
you?
Pin it on fucking
Medic,
Aaron
can you
Rodgers.
start yelling, please?
Can I start yelling?
Yeah, because it seems like in the listeners section you're yelling in your comments. I love it. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, let's bring this back a little bit here. First of all, Aaron or no Aaron, if the numbers work, I don't care either way if it comes back or not. That's besides the point. What I'm looking for this year is that this coaching staff to bring this team to a point where they are looking competitive, they're disciplined,
Thank you.
and we're going in the right
Thank
direction.
you.
The wins come, the wins don't come. I don't care about wins.
Thank
I
you.
want to see this
Thank you.
organization moving in the right direction.
Thank you.
When that is established, Then we can start worrying about wins, division, playoffs, and Super
Thank
Bowl.
you.
But until then, if the
Medic,
base is not set, we've got nothing.
Thank you.
Med,
Nothing.
Thank
that's with
And
Aaron
as far as
Rodgers,
whoever, what's that?
Can I provide a
and that's with
counterpoint,
Aaron
please?
Rodgers.
If he's here, great. If he makes it work out with the numbers, I'm fine with him. If he's not here, that's fine too. I want to see this regime be contender as far as coaching and be accountable for their actions on and off the field. And I want to see players play. If this coaching staff can move this team the right direction, then I'll worry about wins. Okay. First of all, this year's draft coming up, there's no quarterbacks here. We all know that. Next year is going to be a better quarterback class if we don't find one, either we have in-house or not. Okay. So let's get this regime going in the right direction. Let's make sure we don't look like a laughing stock of the NFL like we always are, and then we can move from there. I don't give a shit about wins.
I totally agree with you on that, brother.
So what's
June,
the
get
first?
Tom in
What's
here.
So
the first move you do, Medic?
finally, somebody put some like, what do I want to say? Finally, somebody made a argument that makes sense, right?
I don't have green goggles.
Thank
I
you.
see what I see on the field, and what's on the
Because
field from last
when
year
other people
is
say
garbage.
competitive, they mean wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what does that do for us,
Nothing.
right?
Absolutely
Nothing.
fucking nothing.
It sets us back.
It sets Aaron Rodgers. It sets Aaron Glenn up. I'm so glad that you guys want to saddle this new coach
Hey
coming
guys,
in with
I'm
all this
sorry,
fire
Mark.
from the
Sorry.
presser, and you want to set him up to lose in his first
No,
year. I
but
think it's a
Mark, you
great
bottom out
strategy, guys.
expectations too. So Aaron
And
Glenn
it
doesn't
also,
walk in.
so
Hey,
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
have
he's
I think
coming
can I
in
can
expectations should
can
he's
I
be
ask
coming
a
in
high.
question?
he's
Can I
coming
ask
in
a
Hey,
expecting to
but
lose.
Emerson and guys,
Hey,
June, you don't
Petey, ask your
yep,
question and
Pete.
get the Tom and Benny.
Yeah, Tom's been waiting. I think he might have pulled over and took a
Tom
nap on the
Ford.
road. Tom,
No, I'm good.
Tom, you go, because I'll save my point. Go ahead, man.
All right, appreciate it, Petey and June Medic. I gotta agree with you 100% as far as that, because that's my
Thank you.
feeling. I know for a fact that's my dad that's about to be 70 years old in less than just about a month. But there's also the point too where others are saying like, why do they want to win? Saying competitive with mix. So I want my 7-year-old dad to at least see the. I mean, he's in great health, Lord willing. But do fans like him want at least the playoff streak to end first? Absolutely. So I understand that point of view. But Medic, I think the way you want to approach it, and that we should approach it as Jets fan, is the best and most realistic one. Because I'm with you. Rodgers there, if the numbers works, great. If not, all right. I'm not saying kick rocks. Thank you for trying, Aaron. We wanted you to work, it just didn't. You know, that at the end of the day, it's like I've said on other spaces and we've stated before. Let's see what this new regime got. I trust and have faith in Aaron Glenn. He wanted to be at the Jets coach for a long time once he got in coaching. This was his dream and his goal. He's going to give it his all. And I'm trusting the staff he's putting together. I'm trusting this GM, even though he's a young new GM. There's something that says you survive multiple regimes on a unsteady until Sean Payton team with the Broncos and you get promoted each time. That tells me you have some knowledge. That tells me you have some skill potentially. You know, so let's give them a shot. Let's see what they can do, Rodgers or not. You know, so Petey, you can go
Great
with your
point.
point.
I like that take.
Hey Tom, can I add to that? The
Yes,
only thing I'll add to that is this. Do we also want to go through, do I want to play this year? I don't know. I want to play. Do we want to go through that? Let me go
that's of
into the bunker, the dark room. Do you guys want to go through that?
course we don't want to go through it, but we
No
knew
one
that was going
does.
to be a strong possibility when we took the chance with bringing him in
You
down the
think,
line. We were just hoping we had some
Because he
success with
hasn't
that.
said he wants to play this
but you
year.
don't think Aaron Rodgers had some input in getting Aaron Glenn to be hired as the coach?
If he did, burn this whole shit down.
You don't think that?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Hey,
If he did, burn
No,
this whole shit down.
hang on, Viz.
Aaron Rodgers has no ties to Aaron Glenn whatsoever. There's no way he
Mark,
simply
can you
voiced his
help now or
opinion one way or
Buckeye?
the other.
Yeah.
hey
All
guys,
right.
who had a better
I don't
season?
care if this team goes 2-15. Get rid of the penalties. Get rid of the social media bullshit with the team. Show me a culture. That's a good year. I don't. The record doesn't matter. You bring Aaron Rodgers back. Yes, the expectations on the record. There's an expectations on playoffs the minute you run it back with Aaron.
I got a question
Don't
for
die on
June.
us. Don't die on us. You're doing well.
Hey June.
100%. Running it back with Aaron Rodgers puts the Jets in AFC East division title winning
Pete
conversation.
is doing it again.
I
Pete
I'm
don't
is
know.
telling
doing
you
it
guys
again.
right now,
I don't know
that's
about
what it
that.
is. Whether you guys want to agree, whether it happens or
He's trolling.
not,
He's
that's where
trolling.
the Jets are placed in expectations. That's what Aaron Rodgers brings. I'm sorry,
No
June. You could
one.
say he won it 20
He,
years ago. That's who Aaron Rodgers
oh my
name
goodness
is.
gracious! Yeah, he's trolling you guys. See, I call me trolls. He is trolling you hard.
I'm not trolling anybody. That's
You
just the
are
truth.
trolling
People don't like it.
very very hard.
The,
You
the guy wants.
let me ask you a question, because you were the
No,
one
you
that
asked
was
too
just
many
saying,
questions.
right?
It don't
If
make no
they clean
sense.
up all the disciplinary problems that you guys dealt with last year, what is your bottom dollar that wins with Aaron Rodgers throughout the season and the team can stay healthy?
Bottom
If they,
dollar.
yeah, what is the bottom win?
Uh, look.
Yeah, it don't make no
Yeah, I
sense.
mean, yeah. I'm about to say,
Seven,
Benny,
eight
Benny,
wins.
Benny. What's going on, brother? Good morning.
I know what he
Eight.
means. I'll answer that after Benny.
Go ahead,
Go ahead, Benny.
Yeah,
Thank you.
what's
What is
going
the
on, bro?
floor? They know what I mean. They just don't want to answer it,
go ahead,
Petey.
Ben.
Go ahead, Benny. Shout out
Yeah,
to Benny.
yeah. I'm gonna say this, bro. I don't agree that there is no value, like that we should just lose. Like I get it, bro. That's my expectation. I think this team is gonna be fucking shitty
I
next
put
year.
Right.
that shit on.
And I do think we are going to be in position to whatever get our quarterback next year. But I do see a lot of value in winning ball games next year at the same time. Like I don't know. Like I guess
Set your standard to four.
yeah, you set your standard, and I get it. Like you could be a scrappy team and whatever, like more disciplined and shit, and you win 3 games, and people think that's a success. To me, that's still shit. Like you win 3 games, you or 4 games, like you did a lot of stuff wrong. Like everything went wrong. So I don't know, bro. If I'm Aaron Glenn, you got to go out there and try to win ball games. I
Benny,
just
Benny,
yeah.
real quick. There's going to be fans that it's when if we win 3 to 4 games that are going to want Glenn gone. Trust
Yeah,
me.
like and listen, I think you if everyone says okay, we're accepting the fact that we're not going to be good next year, and Aaron Glenn, go out there, build your culture, do whatever. Even if we're a scrappy team and we win 4 or 5 games, all right, like that'll be fine. I guarantee you, it's going to be hard for him to climb out of that hole. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to start using that record against him. Oh, he's so and so games under 500. He
Solid
hasn't done this. He
2.0.
hasn't done that.
Petey,
It is what it is. He
they
has
they're
to go
there.
out there and try to be competitive this
Even
year,
if he
bro.
wins, they're gonna be fans that want him gone. They
Right,
already calling him a DEI hire, and we know what DEI means.
right.
If you don't know what it means, message me. I'll tell
Yeah,
you. It starts with an N.
there are people who want there are there are a lot of Bills fans who want McDermott gone. And how many years have we been winning consistently with him? And they want him gone. Kyle Shanahan with the 49ers. There's a lot of 49er fans that want him gone. Like it doesn't matter.
The
Like
problem,
if you're
Jarek,
not winning
I
a
in this
championship,
though,
if you're not winning a championship, and if you're winning consistently, if you can't get the job done, then what are you going to be called? A Tom Thibodeau, a Mark D'Antoni, coaches that are good enough but can't get the job done, and fans want them gone.
I got a question
well,
for
that's
June.
Tomlin's
So
problem.
I got a question for the role.
Or
I got
my
a question. So, what coach in NFL history has taken a team in our situation and brought a new staff in, and then all of a sudden became this great powerhouse team that started winning games and going to the playoffs? Has
If
that
if you're
ever happened?
Why do
if
fans
you're bringing
always
up
go to
Washington,
history and
Washington, if
not
you're bringing
talk
up
about
Washington,
creating history?
if you're bringing
can
up
we talk one
Washington,
at a time, please?
yeah, my bad. If we're bringing up
No,
Washington,
that's more
Washington
towards
brought
Pete.
in. Oh,
Right.
Go ahead, Emerson.
if we're bringing up Washington, Washington brought a former head coach on the offense and had a head coach on defense. If you're bringing up
And they had
Washington,
players and they hit on a quarterback. A lot of shit went right for Washington
Yeah,
using
a
them
lot
as
of
a.
shit.
This is the
yeah, but
problem with
Mark,
using
they
an
had the
outlier as the
quarterback.
That was a
case. You can't do that.
They were in a position to take the quarterback, paired him up with one of the best offensive gurus in
Period.
football to play
Period.
with Smith
What?
Schuster.
Period.
Hold on, Jarek. What if the
Period.
Jets had the second pick in this year's draft, and now that you're rolling the dice? Where would Shadur and Cam Ward go in last year's draft?
They would
second round.
their QB I would say anywhere between QB4 and QB6, which is
This
not a
is my
bad thing because
problem. That's what I'm saying, man.
last year was stacked. Last year was a stacked QB class. So
which
that's
is
why they're
why
where
he
they are.
Like
didn't
I
come out.
said, a lot went right for them, and they were set up to succeed. They ditched the owner. They had play. They had some stuff. It was all new. The coaching, all, and they hit on quarterback. a lot of shit went right, but using them as the case of what, like, you can't do that, man. And then I hear people bring up the Chiefs. I'm like, do you understand how fucking rare the situation is? Where you get the best quarterback in the league and pair him with a coach like that, and then you've got like a lot. We can't do that, man. I look more at the Philly model as like a repeatable model of success, like great, like solid success. Than I look at some of these other teams that hit on their franchise quarterback and either get lucky or they develop it in house.
Yeah,
I
Mark.
rather play the
The
percentages.
Philly
Me
model,
too.
like the Philly model, that's not
Jarek,
easy to
after you,
replicate. That's
Viz
very
and,
actually
and
it's very
Shade.
difficult. Very difficult.
Yeah, Viz, go ahead. I know you guys have been waiting, and Josh, go ahead, man. What's up, Viz? Morning.
Yeah, good morning. It's been a while, guys. I mean, I haven't been on here. Happy New Year to everybody, and I know it's yeah, we're in it now. You know, Aaron Glenn talked a lot in the press conference. Everybody saying that you know, you need to put a winning product out there. I think both sides, even the June side, can see that Aaron Rodgers, even though he looked like shit most of last year, probably would be the best quarterback that we could put out on the field. Regardless, I mean, unless Sam Darnold wants to come back here or something like that. But you look forward and you see what Aaron Glenn said in the press conference, and he said, "Look, I've been on the bottom. I've done it with multiple organizations." And said, Detroit, his first year, they won 3 or 4 games. The second year, they went 1-7 at the beginning part of the year, and then they went 8 and whatever for the last part and played for the playoffs the last game of the season. And we're worried about playing competitive football, so then these guys can buy in. I get all of that. When you look at, and he says he wants long-term success. Aaron Rodgers ain't going to be the long-term quarterback for this team, and I think we all know that. So when you look at this, and if you want to compare it back to what Parcells did, yes, you say he brought in an aging quarterback in 1998 in Vinny Testaverde. Vinny Testaverde was right in the middle of his career. He wasn't 42 years old. Plus,
And he was a backup too, to be
and
fair. Glenn
he
Foley
was
was the
he was a
starter.
backup. But if you look at it, the year that he came in '97. Bill Parcells changed a little bit about the team. Between the Rich Kotite year and Bill Parcells' first year, I think we had 3 different starters on the team. One of them was the quarterback. The reason was because he wanted a quarterback that could that was no bullshit. He wasn't a diva, and he wanted a guy that could just run the offense so he could see what he had on the team. I think that you can get a quarterback, you can cut ties with Rodgers, you can eat that cap hit, you could take your medicine, take a pill, whatever you want to call it this year, and then moving forward for the team so we can have potentially that sustained success. I mean, that's really, even Mark, you got to see that in the long run, the true answer to have sustained success, get rid of that cap hit so you can move forward, is get rid of Rodgers. And it's hard. You could see both sides of the argument. I think both sides can see both sides of the argument. But if you're looking for sustained success long term and you want to really build the culture, you can't do that with an Aaron Rodgers on the team. It just is what it is.
That's where I disagree. I think you can. I think you
Sign
need to start building through the
sign a
draft.
quarterback for 1 year, and
Okay, but you guys, all right, Emerson, not you guys. A lot of people are saying in here, oh, sign who? Who,
So the thing
Watson?
is,
and
Who?
Trey Lance. I'm not saying we're
Petey,
gonna win, but
if you want these guys,
All right, that got a mute from me. I heard Trey Lance. Good morning,
Petey, if you
everybody. Like,
guys to
this
have
is
fun out
what,
there, go
when
ahead
I
and add
say, what
a
are we
Jameis
doing? That's what
Winston.
I'm talking about.
Go ahead and add a Jameis Winston. If you want these guys to have fun out there, I mean, a Jameis Winston, who's the Brissett? You could Jacoby Brissett. I mean, these.
But we already
No
have
way.
that was delayed. We already have Tyrod Taylor under contract for
oh,
$7 million this year, and if you're
then
not going to move on for
there's our
Tyrod,
guy.
Can
Then
I?
there's our
okay,
guy.
okay.
But
But
hold
I'm
on, Petey.
just saying, like,
But Petey,
Can I?
what?
that's also a bad contract. Why would you pay a backup quarterback that much money when you
Because they got scared of Zach. What happened the year before with Rodgers? They panicked.
and
I got a.
Yeah.
but
I
then
got a
But wait,
question,
Tyrod
Viz.
that's
Taylor looked
a
incredible in a
that's a
quarter
bad
of playing
about the
garbage
organization.
time. He should
Look
definitely
what
get the
Miami
raise.
paid for Mike White. They paid a shit ton for Mike White.
Hey, can I make a quick point? to because June brought this up. So June wants, and we all say Justin Fields, right? And so Pittsburgh stays with Wilson.
You're staying in Pittsburgh,
Rodgers
by the
had
way.
a better year than Wilson. So why does it work for Pittsburgh to stay with Wilson, but you're saying to the Jets, go get somebody else?
I mean, did it?
Because
Did it? Did
Pittsburgh
it?
is a better
Why
let's
wouldn't
look
it
at
make
how
organization.
sense?
much Wilson.
Did
Look
it
at
work for
Pittsburgh's
Look,
Pittsburgh?
coaching.
look at the contracts.
They went 5-4 with Russell Wilson, but they went 4-2 with Justin Fields.
Right.
Bingo.
Right.
Look at the contract.
I mean, but that's a great example.
I have a problem
You
with
look at
folks using.
Denver.
Hold on, I
You
have a
look,
problem with folks using wins as a quarterback stat when convenient. Like my
Did he
understanding
not manage the
of
game,
Justin
Mark?
Fields with Pittsburgh. Look, my understanding. Well, he also had his defense and Tomlin. So how did they
But
win
they
those
didn't ask him to
games?
do much. All they asked him to do
Where's the
was
Pittsburgh fan to tell us?
manage the game, not turn over the football, and make the run game better, which he did. They were top 5 in the league in rushing when he was the quarterback.
hey, Mark, can I ask you a question?
Imagine if the Jets were top 5 in rushing with Rodgers at the helm. Imagine what their win record would be.
So Mark, but let
Well, you can
me
do that with
ask you a
Justin Fields.
question real quick. So you had a statement a little bit ago. It was about you want to accumulate draft picks, build through the draft, and you said in 2026, the next 2 years, these quarterback classes are going to be stacked. So look at what Denver did. They cut
No,
ties.
they told us these next 2 years of quarterback classes are top heavy. That's what draft experts have been telling us.
Yeah, but
I'm going off of them.
this year sucks. So you're gonna want a guy like Dylan Raiola. You're gonna want a shot at Archie Manning. You're gonna want a shot at those 2026, 2027 guys. So the only way to do that, unfortunately, is to suck this year.
Wait, do
And
you think Arch would come to the Jets? I don't.
we can't
Doesn't
say
But
that.
Mark,
have to
why
be
are you
Arch.
drawing that conclusion?
Mark, but what I'm asking you about is how do you expect us to build through the draft, get a quarterback, if we don't follow what Denver just did by taking the cap hit with Russell Wilson, getting rid of him, sucking for a year, but they played competitive football. You could see that the culture was changing there.
Yeah, but
And then
wait,
that following year, they got a
To be
quarterback.
fair, Denver was almost in it till the end. They had what 7-8 wins. They had the 12th pick, so they didn't even tank. They just got the right coach.
Petey, if you said 7-8 wins, we had 7 wins.
And they did it without
I'm just-
Russell Wilson. They did it by taking that $60 million cap hit.
correct, Viz.
But you're making the other side of my point, is what Pete is saying, because of where they drafted the quarterback.
Viz, and then
But they did it without Aaron Rodgers. They did it without Russell Wilson. So you're saying we're 7-8 win team with Aaron Rodgers? We could be a 7-8 team without him, and we save that money in the future years.
Exactly.
Who's
You're
the
making
quarterback?
your own argument for you.
Who's the quarterback?
Yeah. To be fair,
Somebody come up with an answer for the quarterback position. It's the most important position, and
It's the most important
Yeah,
position.
but Aaron's not the quarterback either.
We need more on this team than just the quarterback. Like some people say, we need a head coach. We need safeties. We need to solidify that offensive line. We need linebackers. We need players all over the place.
If you're taking the dead cap hit and you're absorbing it all this year, there's no money anyway for it.
So Mark and Petey, I got a question. If you bring back Aaron, who's the quarterback in 26? Since we got to give the answer, who is the quarterback in 26 if you bring back Aaron?
I don't know yet. And
you got it. No, according to Mark, you got to answer that question.
Well,
I need to know that answer.
Mark, you're asking Mark.
Okay,
Mark,
I
who's the
think what you're
quarterback?
doing, again, I don't think you're starting. You might end up starting a rookie. I don't know if you're gonna.
So why can't we do that this year?
Because I don't want to win 2 games, which, by the way, I would love the season ticket reps to say, hey, guys, exciting 2025 season coming up. Get ready to win 2 games. I'm ready for that, to get that phone call, right? Season ticket holders.
They were calling yesterday.
Look, I would rather, I don't want to settle.
Seats on that, Mark.
I really want to talk about Aaron Glenn, which is getting swallowed up in this whole Aaron Rodgers conversation. I feel like we're talking about the wrong Aaron. What we really should be talking about is that Aaron Glenn is exactly the right choice for this job, and I don't want to saddle him with a shit record and a shit team and the New York media and the feeding frenzy that'll happen if they win only 2 games.
So you want the
insubordinate
veteran who won 5 games. That's the answer.
Mark, you can't blame a guy who's
guy.
Insubordinate veteran. He was Rodgers.
He doesn't listen to
You're turning it back to Rodgers again.
Yeah.
Why are you going back to Rodgers? I'm talking about Glenn.
You just talked about setting him up. You're setting him up with a guy that doesn't listen.
All right, I'll just talk about Aaron Glenn then.
bro.
So
That
he,
Wait, Mark, can
Aaron
we get to the
Glenn,
hand real
yes,
quick? Because Josh has
yes.
been
Go ahead.
waiting,
What is
and
it,
I got to
Curtis? Oh, go ahead.
rotate people. And then Curtis. Josh, can you hear us? Go ahead, man.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. I meant to answer you
Sorry.
earlier, Petey.
What's up?
To answer your question, no, I do not want Rodgers back, and for two reasons mainly. He's going to be 43 by the time next year starts. Father Time is eventually going to catch up to that guy. I don't give a fuck who you are. Same thing with Adams. Adams is going to be 33 next year. He's going to start falling off. So if your hope is, hey, these guys are going to be good enough for us to compete next year, the odds are against you. So to me, it makes zero sense to bring them back because of that and because of the financial ramifications. But what I do not agree with a lot of people in here are doing is we have to sell off the team to be able to build it correctly. Like if you do that, if you sell off all the players, Sauce, Wilson, all those guys, you know
Don't
who
let
you're
her
going to
wash
be?
yet.
You're going to be the
I'm
Jacksonville
pick.
Jaguars.
I'm cleaning
Oh
that
no,
area.
no, that's just
Whoa, no,
June.
no, no,
That's
no,
just
no, no,
June.
no, no. I'm gonna disagree with that.
It'll
The
take 5
Jacksonville
minutes, Rose, and I'll
Jaguars,
be out of
the
here.
Jacksonville Jaguars going into the year with Trevor Lawrence, that was a
Off
team
their
that was
mute.
predicted to win that was a team that was predicted to make the playoffs. That was a team that supposedly had a stack offensive line. The receiving core, because everyone kept hyping up that Gabe Davis was going to have a great year with Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram, which are multiple 800 to 900 plus yard receivers, Pro Bowl caliber players. The defense was stacked with Josh Allen and with Allen and I forgot the number one pick from Georgia. I forgot Walker and Trayvon Walker, and that their secondary was very, very good. They had a stacked roster according to a lot of people. And then what happened? Injuries started to occur, and then as of course you saw, they had to tear it down. They're tearing it down this year. They sold their left tackle out. They're rebuilding because they
But
failed.
that's
They
my whole
tried and it
point.
failed.
That's my whole point. You exactly because the only way that succeeds is you have to hit on all your major picks. You have to hit on your quarterback. You have to hit on that wide receiver that they barely just got this year. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's why I don't agree with that because you're betting on a lot of things to go right when you already have the guys here. You know what I mean? Like that's what makes
Right.
no fucking sense to me to be like, hey, let's trade everyone and let's hope and pray to whatever deity you pray to that the picks are gonna hit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that's insane to me.
I have a comment on that part of it. So, what is something that Muji and Glenn have in common?
They're new.
Come on, guys. We spent all this time
They're new.
like griping about the head coach and GM candidate
They
coming
used to
in.
be
You can't
players.
answer this
First
one.
time.
Player evaluation.
they're
Both of
scouts.
these
Yeah,
guys are scouts, and like this is their strength is player evaluation, right? So yeah, they're gonna have to bring in maybe a cap guy and some of this other stuff. But if they can evaluate talent and you can start to hit in the rounds, suddenly your finances start to work out. Because if you could get talent and then develop talent, doesn't that also get you out of cap hell?
Yeah, of course.
I'm asking.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the short term, yes.
Yeah. Players are that's and hence why I keep saying y'all need to get rid of Brees Hall. Why I think you need to get rid of him, especially because you have a coach that Marky just said it that is already good talent evaluators and a stacked running back draft class like this that's come once in a lifetime. Why would you not take the running back and try to replace Brees?
So
He
Jarrett,
might.
do you
Yeah.
think Genty is a guy, if he's there at 7, the Jets would
Oh,
consider?
absolutely. No, I don't think any team should take him in the top 15. I think he should be in the 20s. I do not think that he's a top 15 player. I don't. I like Genty too, but you can't do it, man. Like if you're taking Genty
Okay.
with it, I mean, look at the Falcons. Bijan Robinson is a hell of a running back prospect, absolutely worthy of a first round pick, no question about it. Where are the Falcons? Like you don't
Yeah.
do it unless that team is
Jameer Gibbs was 12th.
no he wasn't 12. No
Yeah.
Gibbs was I think he was 17th or he was 18th. But the Lions roster was like that roster was already
They were
solid.
already built.
Yeah, that was an
Correct.
already like that roster was already solid. They just had additional draft capital, such as getting Brian Branch in the second round. They got Jack Campbell because they had two first round picks. Like they had a very very good draft the last 2 years.
Gibbs was pick 12. Gibbs was
Oh, he
pick
was pick
12.
12. Okay, my apologies.
Yeah, 12.
Yeah, it worked out. But then they also got Montgomery,
Well, the
and they
Jets
ran a split
wanted to
running back
take him
system.
at 15. They were going to take him. which is crazy.
Yeah.
Curtis, go ahead, and then Benny.
Everybody can hear me?
Yep. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, gentlemen, ladies, if you're on the line. It's a beautiful hump day. We're our arguments are starting to make me laugh. I don't know everybody's work life. I don't know if people just, they're regular 9 to 5 jobs, if they're entry level. We got some managers here. I just want y'all to start looking at trends. Okay. Right now, we shouldn't be talking about are we keeping Rodgers or not. That's irrelevant right now. We're gutting the swamp. That should be a major clue as to what's happening. And this is what has been missing for the Jets for 30 years. We needed to get rid of all this garbage front office. How you gonna be in the team for 16 years and all we've been doing is getting scrub player after scrub player after scrub player? So I'm very excited about that. Having said that, the talent evaluation is going to be key, and that's why I'm glad we have the people we have in place. And you already know my stance. I'm not on to tear it down 100%, but I am getting rid of Rodgers just because it is a conflict of interest, man. If you work, the best way I can compare it is if you work at any job you have and you had a real popular boss and he gets demoted, but they kept him on the job, right? They kept him in the job, maybe in a similar position as everybody else and not a manager no more. Wouldn't you feel there'd be some sort of conflict because now the boss can't do what the boss used to do, and now he's still trying to use his former influence to change things? As a new boss, you don't want that. That's why we got to stop crying about who gives us the best chance to win. Guess what, guys? That was over when he flew his Achilles out. We're on to the next dream. Okay, guys? So we need to start talking about now is stuff that matters. Like, okay, who's the cap guy we bringing in? Who's going to be the director of football operations? Because he's bringing in one. Is what's that guy name? Is Jaime going to be next? Because what does Jaime really do? These are things we need to
I
talk
mean,
about.
Aaron Glenn mentioned him in the press conference, though. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah,
Curtis,
I
to
think
be fair.
okay. Yeah, Jaime. Yeah, he's probably
But
staying.
the other guys, like some of these development guys, I mean, I see comments about them. I didn't know some of these guys. I'm not going to lie. I mean, come on, who does? A couple of people.
Well,
But you're right.
most of them was
You're
the
right.
sources that were putting the dirt out because they were failing in their decisions. So I'm sorry. I like to combine sports with life. So not to rain on
You also
nobody's
forgot,
parade.
Curtis. You said about people's jobs. There's some business owners in here. You gotta add. I'm being humorous here. You got to add a little context to that. There are business owners
that's
in
what I'm
here.
saying. So stop looking at it as a Jets fan. Yes, we love the Jets. Look at it as the business you own or the job that you're managing. What would you do in your job? Take your fandom away from it. Take your fandom away from it, and you'll be honest with yourself. And 90% of the people on here will agree. If this was a regular 9 to 5 business, you would get rid of that person, correct?
Yeah, but Curtis, I just think, you included me. I've done it. We all, try to compare it to our regular job. It's just, it's just totally different. This is a sport that's, loved by billions of people, a billion people.
But
It's
common sense
different.
is but common
It's run
sense is common
differently.
sense. It's common sense is common sense, guys. Let's just see the next moves.
I can't hear you,
Video
man.
on in the background. My God.
Yeah.
No, what is it? No, everybody. Yes, we're fans, Petey. But you look at it, and everybody in the NFL, whenever they get traded, whenever something happens, whenever they lose a player, what do they ask them? They say, "How do you feel about so and so being traded to this team?" And their answer is, "It's a business." Like they get it. The players will get it.
Yeah, I get it too. But when you have players vouching for the guy, though, too, everybody, a lot of people are saying Rodgers is such a bad teammate. Where is that? Where?
Petey.
I want to see it.
They're not going to turn around and say anything bad
Yes.
about the man.
Yeah, they're
Come on,
naughty.
Why not?
players,
Why not?
good
Players don't say
players.
anything bad about active players. Remember the Zach Wilson holdout, a rookie? I mean, all the holdout, Sam Darnold, when he had the little holdout for training camp and he didn't get signed. Nobody says anything bad about a player when Revis was gone, even though he was a great player. He kept to himself. He wasn't the best teammate in the locker room. He really did keep to himself, and that came out afterwards. But everybody said, oh, we're fighting for the guy. Every time that there's been a holdout, regardless, he's a great player. When Tremaine Johnson sucked on his deal, nobody said anything bad about Tremaine Johnson. When he's on the team, you're not going to hear anything. As soon as he leaves, that's when you'll start hearing
Different
things.
though, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
wait a minute.
Aaron Rodgers is a
Can I
stat.
say something, Pete?
Go ahead. Yeah, Rodgers is a Hall of Fame. He's an icon in
Exactly.
this
You're not
league.
going
Yeah,
to say
we
anything bad
You
about
gotta
shouldn't,
him.
be fair.
guys. We shouldn't do that because one, we know we can watch a player presser and dice and say, you know what, is this guy like? Is he saying it? Is it lip service to Business Point, or does he really think that this guy is legit and a leader in the rest of it? And for those folks that are saying, oh well, it's just the defensive guys that are coming out in support, be careful. Because what happens, where does your argument go if one offensive player says something? Oh, but that offensive player didn't like, listen, man, you can keep redrawing the goalposts on this shit, but I'm sorry. Like, this is the same. Look, the players like him. He's the only guy in the room that knows shit about winning and winning football.
If Garrett
Okay?
Wilson comes out and says, I want him back, I'll take him back. That's who I want to
All
hear
right,
from.
thank
The
you.
thing is, these players are currently on this roster have not seen anything outside of Aaron Rodgers, and since they've seen what he can do, of course they're gonna like him because it's the best thing they've seen since they've been here.
Mark, I want to hear Garrett Wilson say, I want to play with him. You won't hear that.
All right. I'll
You
give
won't.
you, okay, look, I'll give you
Go ahead.
three
Go ahead, Mark.
conditions for having him back. All right. The first is that they figure something out with the money. Because apparently everyone's belly aching about the money, the money, the money. I don't think that's real. That's the only reason or the real reason, but I'll accept it on its face. The money. Got it. Okay. The second part is you need a decision and quickly, right? Folks are saying before, what is it, before March 15th or really before, like right after the Super Bowl, you need to know. Great. So get your answer then. Problem solved. And the third part, and this is the part I care the most about, is that this is Aaron Glenn's football team. Rodgers needs to be 100% on Aaron Glenn's plan. Now, I don't know what that exactly looks like. Maybe he's talking to the media about it, or whatever it is, or we see where they're talking and we see statements and the rest of it. But this is now Aaron Glenn's football team. So he's the leader of the team in my mind, and not Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers works for Glenn. If I see that and those three conditions are met, then bring him back. But listen, if they compete with the
All
guy
right.
and whatever, then fine. So long as it's Aaron Glenn's
Wait.
decision and not the guys in the space, for Christ's
Yeah.
sake.
Hold on. Benny, just jump in. 20 Buckeyes. So if Garrett Wilson says he wants back, then you're on board?
Yes, because it's never going to happen, Petey. Never.
Okay.
And Mark's leaving one out. If Garrett doesn't want to play with him, all those other three, I don't care. I'm not losing my franchise receiver to run it back with Aaron. It's stupid.
This is where
Well,
I
that
agree.
I
If you're
agree
forced to
with.
choose between Wilson and Rodgers, it's obvious you have to pick Wilson. So I agree with
Oh
that.
my gosh, Buckeye and Mark are on the same page today. Wow.
Well, June's not up
I
here
didn't have that
saying
on
get
my
Garrett out of town.
well, I
So
didn't well, yeah, I didn't have that on my bingo card. Go ahead, Benny.
Listen, no, I agree with you, Buckeye, 100%. Like, if Garrett Wilson is not on board, then fuck it. But Rodgers needs to 100% be on board. If there's a slimmer of doubt, Rodgers should not be on this football team. And then you move forward, whatever. We go through with Aaron Glenn's plan, whatever the fuck that may be. But my genuine worry is, yes, he's seen it. I'm not saying it's impossible. It happened in Detroit, whatever. But more often than not, when a head coach starts bad and they have a really fucking bad year, like a really fucking bad year, it's hard to climb out of that hole. And all right, say we give him the grace where things don't go right this year. Then next year, obviously, a rookie quarterback, whatever, hopefully, and a veteran, obviously. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, you're going to have to give Aaron Glenn 3 or 4 years to kind of figure it out at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish we were in a position to
Yep.
get our quarterback this year where the
Benny,
clock can
you
start.
just gave me an idea. But this is totally way out from let's just say the Niners they got to sign Brock Purdy, right? I'm not saying that he's going to come here. It's just a hypothetical, and they franchise him because they can't agree, and then they let him go.
PD, Brock
Who's to
Purdy
say
is
the
not the
Jets
answer.
can't?
He's not the answer either,
I'm
man.
just saying. I'm just saying. We don't know who the quarterback's going to be anyway. It may not be a rookie. We don't know. The chances are it may not be. It's not going to be a rookie.
Brock Purdy is he's
I
not
just
he's
can't
not the
believe
answer.
that. No,
You're
I know.
not.
I'm not saying he is, but you never know who's going to shake free.
You just got to
Go
give.
ahead, Benny. Sorry
Yeah,
about
I
that.
got
no,
I
no,
got a
you're good,
question.
bro. It's just
I got a
you
question
got to
real quick.
give.
So
Yo, no,
what
real quick, man.
Hang on, Benny's
all
talking.
right.
Go ahead.
You got.
Oh, all right. Go ahead,
I
medic.
feel like you're gonna have to give him a chance, bro, to dig out of a hole. That it's gonna be tough, bro. Like, Jet fans will. You can lie to yourselves now, but if he has a poor year and he's not proving that he could be a really good coach, I'm personally not gonna have a lot of confidence in him to identify, draft, and then develop a quarterback. Like he needs to have a certain amount of success this year to give the Jet fans confidence. Like, okay, look, like things are changing around here. Rodgers or not, like he needs to win some ball games. He needs to field a competitive football team. We can't be soft. We can't lay down and quit like how we always did with Salah. Like there needs to be a lot of things that happen. And if things go bad, we're not going to give him the grace to have another 2 years on top of it, bro. We're not going to do that. We know this, right?
So my question is, what is considered a bad year? Is a bad year just losing games, or is a bad year saying that this team is just a crap? There's no leadership. There's no whatnot. Because there's a lot of ways to look at a bad year.
A bad year to me is 5-12 again.
So
I
five
don't
and
agree with that,
12
Petey.
with a staff that's competent and players that are actually playing, and we just don't happen to win games.
Yes,
That's not
Wait, how
competence,
is 5-12
low
not a bad year?
penalties, all that
because we
stuff
don't know.
is
We have coaches that are first time coaches doing certain positions and certain things, and we have a head coach who's never done it before. So my thing is, until we can establish he's the man for the job, nothing else matters because we're right back
All
where we
right, if
started.
you got Aaron Glenn in, medic, and you've got Steve Wilkes manning the defense, and we know that there's talent on the defensive side of the ball between Sauce and MC2, and you've got Quinnen up front, and you're telling me that defense is going to lead these guys to a 5 and like I'll be like, this is a disaster.
We
Who are
had a
these
shit
guys?
defense
Who
last
is
year, Mark.
Wilkes and Glenn at that point?
We obviously lost key pieces in our defense last year, and it shows since day one. Okay, so
Yeah,
unless we
but
turn
it
that
wasn't even
defense
to
around,
injury.
no,
That
no,
was
no. Since
talent.
the season started, I saw the drop off. First game, I knew there was a drop off. We got rid of two players that were obviously a big staple of our defense, and we didn't replace them with quality players. And we all saw it all year. Okay, we were a shell of what we were the year before when Aaron got hurt.
Absolutely.
So
And we didn't have Reddick neither, Medic, to be fair. Even though Reddick had an awful
yeah,
year, I think if Reddick started the year,
uh,
he would have been way better, to
maybe
be fair.
that man put
I
no
can
don't think
effort.
he
He
would have
didn't
had
can
even
a
I
get
half
ask a
the
training
sack.
question?
camp. We got to get some of these players
No,
the benefit of the
right.
doubt. I mean, not like
Can I ask you a question?
his own doing because he didn't go to training camp, but I mean, it's extremely difficult. I mean, when you're not in football shape, it's very difficult.
Can I ask you a
Yeah,
question? So
Buckeye.
so Mark, you want to bring it back to Aaron Glenn. Is it fair as an expectation that we hired a coach who hired a staff that we as an organization should be able to know now and in the future we can go into a draft a quarterback and develop that quarterback? Do we feel that's an expectation that we got in a head coach and a staff that he built and selected that we should be able to go into a draft and not, like Petey said, pluck something else from other teams? Enough of that. No more plucking. Draft it, find it, develop it. Is that fair to put that bar of expectation on Aaron Glenn while he's here as a Jets head coach?
The answer is nobody knows.
Oh
I mean, you
man,
brought in
that's
Aaron Glenn. Hold on, don't interrupt because I gave the answer you don't want. Just hear me out for a second. Aaron Glenn, first of all, the Jets are lucky to have gotten Aaron Glenn. It's not often that you get a guy who's considered a top head coaching candidate and is also who came from a team where they went from rags to riches and actually was part of the turnaround. Not someone that they inherited off a winning team for whatever reason and then just came in to bring in quote unquote winning ways, but literally dug through the trash and now like they're a solid team and was a former player and a great player for the team and feels like he's got that has a dog in the fight. The Jets are fortunate to have Aaron Glenn. Now I don't now the question though is what is Muji? Like he was part of the process that eventually got Bo Nix, but they also had Sean Payton as the head coach. He's one of the best coaches in football. So on offensive mind, you know what I mean? So I don't know
Mark,
what that all looks
Glenn
like,
was
but
the first hire. Glenn was
this
the first
idea,
hire. The GM didn't hire Glenn. Glenn was the first hire.
I know that.
So my question again, if you don't have a head coach and a staff that can develop a quarterback in this league, you don't have a chance.
So can this staff develop a quarterback?
I just asked, is it fair to have an expectation on this head coach that he can develop a quarterback?
I go back to the Philly model for this one. I think if you build a solid team, where did they get Jalen Hurts?
Second round.
In the second round.
Yes.
Build a great football team.
I see.
And then when you're ready, you put the go get the quarterback.
But you're acting like Jalen Hurts wasn't a development success.
Everyone is acting like the Jets need to act like the Chiefs. And I'm like, well, the Jets maybe should consider acting like Philly. And then people are coming out with pitchforks.
Yeah, but
what the
Mark,
fuck?
no,
the Super Bowl too.
Wait, Mark. To be fair on this point, and this is where I do agree. If the Jets do run it back with Rodgers, Tyrod, and Jordan Travis, I mean, there's no development here unless Jordan Travis just elevates this year when he starts practicing.
Here's my problem. What is the percentage hit rate? Hold on. What is the percentage hit rate on elite quarterbacks?
It doesn't have to be elite, Mark.
You're asking the question.
If we had Drake May right now, I'd be happy as a clam.
What the hell is Drake May? We don't know what he is yet.
I'd be happy as a clam and optimistic that there's something. I want to have a semblance of something. I know what.
So the Cincinnati model: go get your quarterback and then try and find some talent and try to figure it out in the limited.
That's not a bad model. They went to the Super Bowl.
Joe Burrow was the first pick in the draft.
They also went to a Super Bowl.
And now where are they?
So both things can't be true. We can't have an average Rodgers and a game manager and a rookie at the same time. So you either want an elite quarterback or you want someone who's just going to be able to manage the game enough to get you wins or whatever you're looking for in this team next year coming forward.
Wait a minute,
Mark, one of your three elements, though. Mark, one of your three elements, there was a kink in it because you said work out the money. That's a math equation. There's no working something out that's a math equation. There's spreading it.
So did you think Rodgers would take a pay cut?
But that didn't it solved it to
You're not answering the question.
I am. All you did was punt that money for future years to do it this year. I don't want to be the Saints. I don't want to do that. That's a terrible, terrible organization that every head coach is saying, I'd rather be a coordinator than be a head coach there. And we were not far from that already.
Look, I don't know the money. I'm just saying, is there
it's a math equation, Mark? It's a math equation. That's math. So that's not a hypothetical. You're making the money a hypothetical.
I see teams push the cap. Oh, go ahead.
Can I just say one thing? We're on YouTube Live now as we're talking. If you guys can subscribe and like Jets Commute on YouTube, there'll be some new stuff coming out, short videos, some interviews I'm working on. That'll be exclusive YouTube content. So I'm sure Mark and June will join me on that, but please like and subscribe if you can, as we try to, hit other platforms.
I want to ask Petey, you and Mark a real question. If next year with this staff, there's a delay of game called, and Aaron said they're not getting the calls in time, do you believe him or not?
What kind of premise of the question is that?
Well, we watched it all last year. It's a very fair question, Mark. We watched it all year. It never got better.
Well, then,
I'll blame Rodgers then because that's consistent.
So what do we do in that situation? Do we just run 17 games of that shit? Because that's what we did this year. Or
no, but if it's a problem, then you got to address it and make sure. I think they'll hold them accountable.
In what sense? Do you want Aaron Glenn to go to a podium and be like, "We're calling out plays," and Aaron is calling? Do you want him to call him out?
All right, Buckeye, real quick. I think Aaron Glenn will shut the media down just like he did with, what he did to, in the thing about Rodgers. He's like, what don't you understand?
I know, but he's,
and I think.
Why do you guys want to give Aaron Glenn a complete garbage quarterback?
It's easy to shut
I don't
But it's
understand.
easy to
I
shut
don't
the
get it.
media down when you're 0-0.
And then what
Look,
happens? And here's
look.
the prediction. No, I'm going to stand on it because I'm hearing fears and hypotheticals, cooking this up. I'm going to give you a prediction on this. I'm just going to stand on it, and we're recorded. If Rodgers is out,
What are you going to say? 12-5 like last year, Mark?
oh, here we
Go ahead.
go. Thank you, Pete. If Rodgers is out, all right, and now we hang shit quarterback play around Aaron Glenn. I am waiting for the media and the feeding frenzy and the fans to boot, and everyone who's now saying, "Oh, we're going to give him the year. Don't worry, Greece, please." We all know what's going to happen.
As
The
it
folks
should.
that never wanted Aaron,
But
no,
Mark,
it's
can
not
I just
what
say
should
one?
happen. The folks that were like, oh, we didn't want Aaron Glenn in the first place, they were saying fire the guy before he even got the job, they're going to get real loud. Does anyone trust that
Mark, can
Woody's
you
got
hear
the
me?
metal to deal? Yes, Pete, go ahead.
Yeah. Can I just say what, Mark? To be fair though, and listen, you do this with been doing this with me a long time here. That's the easy answer out, Mark, because you're going to defend that, and that's easy to do. I don't think we're getting. I don't know, man. I'm split on this. This is a good argument here because Buckeye does have that Buckeye's right about a couple of things on
I'm
this.
giving
No,
Aaron.
burning through
To
the
be
money,
fair,
I
Mark.
understand clearing the cap out and all the, like, why you want to do it and the rest of it. I get it. And signing your players. But I think philosophically, if you're going to be drafting players that will be on rookie deals and you can actually develop those players, like, that also frees you from cap hell. And I don't want to be, if you really want a perennial playoff team, isn't that a much better way to do it than tanking and being like, oh, and crossing your fingers for some elite quarterback whose name we don't know?
Mark, we don't know.
I'm
Mark,
not about
we,
wishing
we,
upon a
we
star,
don't know.
dude. Build a real
We don't know
team.
how many. We don't.
You have to
How many
give Aaron
years is
Glenn
it
a
gonna?
little bit of
How many
slack
years is
this
it gonna
year.
take for that to happen? To be a perennial
Yep.
playoff team
Here
before
comes.
getting the young quarterback. I mean, yes, it worked with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts was the outlier. How many college quarterbacks do you know come out with 5,000 total yards of offense, leads them to the playoffs, almost to a national championship, gets developed by one of the best quarterback gurus in the country, and lands in the second round? That doesn't happen.
That's true.
I mean,
And to be fair, they drafted him with Carson Wentz, who was league reigning MVP. Correct, Jordan?
I think Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz was there. I believe for the. I could be wrong, but I think they had a quarterback. They had. I think they had a quarterback established. It might have been Carson
Yes,
Wentz.
it was
But yeah,
West.
he fell. He fell through the draft to the second round.
It's
You
an
know.
anomaly.
Yep. All right. By the way, real quick, we got Miss Rogers up here, Neek, and then Renzel. I want to hear from both pro Aaron Rodgers people. Go ahead, Neek. Good morning. Are you here, Neek? Can you speak? Or did you just come up? All right. Neek, we'll get back to
Hear
you.
me?
Oh, there she is. There you are. You were away from the phone. Good morning, Neek.
What's up? Turn it on.
What's up?
Nothing.
Are you
I'm
commuting?
just listening to, you know, y'all slander Aaron, but it's all good. But honestly, it doesn't matter if he comes or goes. But a lot of y'all sound like losers, though. Like with this whole loser mentality. Oh, I'm fine if we get 2 or 3 wins. You're not.
Nah, no way.
Bullshit. Like, stop it. You'll put Glenn on a stick and it'll be a pitchfork. Quick as hell. So stop lying to yourself. How about I think Glenn wants to win. That's just my take. I don't think he's coming in to do a first year losing. I think he wants to win.
Wait a minute, Petey,
I
real
agree.
quick before you get to the hands, I gotta ask this question. When the Eagles picked up Jalen Hurts, what was their record the previous year when they picked him up?
I I think they
Nope, they
were a
were 4 and
winner.
11.
No. Was that the year Wentz tore his ACL?
No, he tore his ACL during the Super Bowl year with Nick Foles.
Oh
Like
yeah, that's right.
he was
My bad.
not. I mean, they thought he was going to be the guy. He wasn't good. They picked Hurts
But
up
didn't
early.
Wentz get
Nope,
hurt that
nope,
year? I mean, not hurt. He was coming back from the next
nope.
year, correct?
Nope.
It wasn't. Man, I'm wrong
I don't even think
twice.
he was
Oh
on that
well.
team because 2019. I think no, because 2019 was with the Colts. I forgot who it might have
Yeah.
been Nick Foles. Whoever was quarterback, whoever was the quarterback, they weren't a good football team. They picked Hurts early because of the record. They picked him in the early 30s, became the quarterback, and it took Jalen Hurts 2 years. It took him 2 years for him to develop and be the quarterback that he was. Now, to Mark's point, they were able to help develop that roster because they were to help develop that roster for agency, and they were also able to hit through the draft because they had great talent evaluators all throughout the place. Howie Roseman, they were able to do it. But again, I mean, you
Did
have
I
to
hear you mention the
evaluate that.
GOAT? Hey, Jay, how you doing?
What's up, T?
I heard you mention the GOAT. I mean, good morning, PD. Good morning, Mark. I ain't coming here on no bullshit. He
Morning.
did mention the GOAT though. In my defense, I was quiet until he mentioned the
All
GOAT.
right.
I ain't know he was
Well,
gonna mention the
speaking of
GOAT. I didn't know that.
T, I'm going to close in a few. I want to hear from Renzel,
Oh, okay.
and then Renzel, you want to talk?
Is y'all
What
going
up?
for us in the
Yeah,
Super Bowl or
what's
no?
going on, man? Good morning.
We'll get back to you, T.
I just barged in and I was listening to a little bit. It's a good conversation going on. I just have a few things to say respectfully. The us first of all, us as Jets fans, we should want to set up Aaron Glenn for the best success he can have his first year. That builds up trust with the fans, that builds up equity, everything, so we should want to field the best roster for him. We should not want him to have a losing season his first year. That's just ludicrous. Then the fans, we're just gonna fall to the same thing. Oh, he's the same thing, he sucks.
Renzel, can I ask you a question real quick? Just say they go 9-8, 10-7, and make the playoffs. And yes, we can't win a Super Bowl. There's going to be fans that are upset that we made the playoffs in Aaron Glenn's first year. I have a really hard time believing that.
Exactly. That's
Sorry.
that, right? And then second thing, the money, right? Everybody keeps talking about the money. Do you know that the Eagles are one of the top 10 teams that have the most dead cap money? The Eagles, the Packers. There's a whole bunch of teams that are in the playoffs now that have a huge dead cap money charge.
Excuse me,
That
sir. There are
money
only two
means
teams left in
nothing
the playoffs, sir.
that
I
yeah that
just
are
wanted to
left
correct
in
you.
the
That's all.
playoffs, but made the playoffs. There's a whole bunch. That means nothing. We can't keep thinking about the money. You got to think about now what we can do now to build success, to get Aaron Gunn going, to get the fan base behind him. Why would you want him to get off to a shitty start? So then it could be the same cycle again. That's the thing as fans, as Jets fans, bro. It's like the lady said before coming on. If we're a whole bunch of losers, bro, the mentality we have, it's outrageous. Like I can't believe it. Like if we're gonna get a quarterback, it's gonna happen when it happens. It doesn't just happen by tanking. We all know that doesn't work for the Jets. How many times we've had horrible seasons and we still don't draft the right guy? So when it happens to be that they zero in on a quarterback they like, all we can do is pray and hope that this regimen is different and they're gonna be able to evaluate a good quarterback and we get the right pick. That's all we can do. But rooting for losses, that's loser shit, bro. That's loser shit.
I feel you, brother. I feel
Like
you.
we can't, as a fan base, we cannot. That's why we're the way we are. I get it. We're
Hmm.
all batted. We're all beat down. I get that. I get that. But to root for losses and say, "Oh, he'll give us a better chance at a quarterback," what are we gonna do if we go 10-7? Like, what? Do you know what that do to the players, to the fans, to everybody? Come on, we would die just to have a freaking winning record, bro. And once you're in the playoffs, you
But no,
never
no,
know.
no, no,
You never
Renzel.
know.
You will not die for a winning record. That is the bare minimum.
Thank you, T.
You will die if you make the Super Bowl, but then you'll come back to life if you win it, and then you'll die again.
Well,
That now those are your expectations. Those are what you should want and aspire for your new head coach. On top of everything else that you said, you should not get scared of the moment. You should not just be okay with making the playoffs. You want to win a game. You want to win two games. You wanna be the team that knock off the great Patrick Mahomes. You know what
exactly.
I'm
That's
saying? You
exactly
wanna
what
you
And
wanna be
once
one
you're
of them
there,
boys.
you never know. Nobody ever thought Washington was going to go into Detroit and win that game.
I did.
Nobody thought they was going to beat the
I
Bucks.
did. I
Let's.
did.
Yeah,
I bet
I
on.
You
did
I
could
too.
bet.
probably
I
say
put a
that
lot of
now,
money up on
cool,
that.
but
Renzel, I'm not
Nobody
gonna
thought
lie.
the
I am
Jets in
on recorded
2009 would
space.
make the AFC Championship
exactly.
either.
Renzel, I am on recorded spaces saying all my I went like I had one wrong pick the whole playoffs.
All right, so I mean, maybe you did, but the majority of people did not have Washington going in there and beating Detroit. Let's just be honest. Everybody thought Detroit this was their year. It didn't happen that way, whatever. But it's just to say that anything can happen, and for us to root for losses, that's just crazy, man.
They could have
Because
won that game, and we would have
Yeah, I'm
came
out
in
on that.
Detroit and whooped the dog. Yeah, we would have. You hear me? Like it wouldn't have been pretty at all.
and then the last thing I want to say, and thank you for allowing me to come up here, Pete. Appreciate you. Have a great morning, guys. Whatever you guys are doing, have a great day. Um, And the last thing I want to say is to propose a question and say, what are we gonna do as fans if Rogers goes up to the lines and get a delay of game penalty? Are we serious, bro? Do we understand that when he's not doing that on purpose, right? He's trying to dissect the defense and read the defense to see what they're doing to get us in the best play possible. That
Renzel, they don't know that
only
because they didn't make high school JV.
and,
They don't know
and
that, Renzel.
only maybe
Hey,
2 or 3 quarterbacks in this league can even do that. We understand that
Why
that's
you
what's
say
going
that to
on?
me? I was agreeing with him, Petey. What?
Like
I know,
that's
but
Okay, well, that's
fans
why
are gonna
motherfuckers don't know. They didn't play in high school, so they
yeah,
don't know basic
fans are gonna
concepts.
complain. Yeah, guys, it's over 10 o'clock.
You know you're running
I
into
usually
space.
close. Yeah,
and
I
that's all.
am.
Thank you for allowing me to come out. That's all. Thank you.
Renzel, thanks for coming back, man.
Pleasure.
Guys, there's like a few comments on YouTube too this morning. Appreciate it. We'll be back. You know,
Hey,
I'll be
hey, hey,
working on some
PD.
things.
Hey, PD.
Yo,
After we win the Super Bowl, I won't co-host, and then, between you and all the
nah,
rest of the Jets fans, we got to find out how to get
mm,
me up and to be y'all draft nigga, so I can start getting y'all the real dogs, the niggas that y'all don't look at and that you don't care about because they're not in the first and second round, because that's all you motherfuckers ever look at is the
Uh-huh.
first and second round.
mm,
Say that shit again.
neat.
I could literally change your team this offseason if I was in your front office. Like
T.
like I
All right.
literally could
Speaking of
change your
change, why
team's
don't we?
whole trajectory.
Speaking of change, have a great day. Make a difference out there today, and
Oh wait, Petey,
we'll have a.
Petey.
Come
I
on,
gotta
T. I
give the
gotta
people
run.
one Black History fact before we sign off today. And
Go
and
ahead,
then
T.
you can end the space. But we gotta give them a Black History fact. We gotta give them one.
Go
Did
ahead.
you know that Jalen Hurts is the first black quarterback to lose a Super Bowl, then be back in it and break the Jim Kelly curse? Did you know that? That is new history, actually.
That's awesome.
That's new history. I was gonna give y'all one about the most famous African American female pilot who just retired from American Airlines, and she served in the United States Air Force for over 30 years. Well, 25, and she did 30 in the airline. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all need to really oh, also, y'all amusement park rides, what that was made by a black man. The technology that roller coasters are was made by a black man. Y'all don't really be knowing. It's Black History
T. I'm
Month
not
though. You
cutting.
know
T.
now?
I understand. I'm not cutting you off with that. Respect to the pilot. Awesome. That's a great fate that she did. Congratulations. I got to close. Have a great day. T,
Yeah,
appreciate
Peter,
you
you're
bringing that
good,
up.
bro. You're good.
No, it is. I'm what do you T, I'm
I
being
know you're
positive.
good. I know you gotta go, Peter.
All
I'm
right.
not saying you're
Have a
not. You're
good day,
good, Peter.
guys.
You're good. You're
Be
good.
well.
You're good. I said
Tear,
what I had to say.
tear
I'm
it,
quick.
tear it down.
Tear it down, Petey. And go birds. Fuck wrong with